you close the door,
Cool.
Miguel?
Yeah, sure.
Hello, YouTube.
Because I guess that's gonna be guests. They're gonna be the actors from the original Mortal Kombat game.
Oh yeah, I'll
That's
go up to her.
hilarious.
Hey, I messaged your agent, so you have to come be on our
Well,
show.
not from the
No.
movie. The ones who posed it as sprites.
Oh, okay.
My fingers smell like
Now
cheeseburger.
that's cool. 30 seconds, all clear.
You're listening to chaoticradio.com.
Don't hear this enough anymore.
Welcome to the Kind of Gaming Show, live on chaoticradio.com. My name is Andrew. I am your host when I am not sick.
.com.
Even when he's
.com,
sick.
even when I am sick.
I'm Connor.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Miguel.
No.
Yeah, and we have our very sexy engineer man back there.
Yo.
All right, today's a very, very special day. It's we're going to be counting down our top 5 PS3 games, along with talking with about some current gaming events
And news and shit. Yeah.
and news
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. So I guess let's kick into that. So Overwatch.
Yeah.
I
What
get-
about it?
I guess it's popular.
The Overwatch
No,
League.
It's fun, but I don't know what.
No, the Overwatch League Pro, like the whole
It just
series.
started yesterday.
Yeah, it
What
started
does that
yesterday.
mean?
It's it's like MLG and Blizzard worked together and they made a fucking arena in Burbank.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Well, I know that, but I
$80
mean,
million.
It started.
Yeah.
when I'm playing the game, I don't see a difference.
Oh no, it's
what I'm
there's
saying.
actually a little button that says Overwatch League Live. You can click on it. Start
Oh,
watching
watch
the
it?
game. Yeah.
Oh no!
It's-
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
It's
tonight.
straight up like watching
Well, it's-
pro.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like
no, I
actual
get
pro
it.
Sports.
You're gonna
Yeah.
catch the VODs. It's Wednesdays through Saturdays for the next like 5 weeks for stage 1, and then there's like a 2-week gap or something. And there's gonna be 2, and then 3 and 4, and so on until the finals. Anyway, it's hype as fuck. The first day
It's
they
fun.
opened with the
Is Moira in the meta? She better be. She's fucking
been,
deadly.
She's been used. Yeah,
Oh.
a few people have been using her.
I love
there was
her.
It was the first day. The last match of the day was Soul Dynasty versus the fucking Dallas Fuel. Dallas Fuel has like fucking Taimu and Seagull and Mickey. It was like the old Envious roster modified, and then Soul Dynasty was Lunatic High, like the top Korean team.
Yeah.
And it's just them. They're the pro team.
Just because it's basically our teams. There's 2 LA teams.
Yeah, there's
That's
two.
dope.
There's the Gladiators and the Valiant.
Well, that makes sense because Blizzard is in Irvine, which is kind of close.
Yeah, it's closer.
Yeah.
is
nobody's
it,
from
is
LA.
it international or is it just
yeah,
United
it's
States?
international.
Okay,
There's
so
a
the
Pacific League and an Atlantic League.
so the Koreans are just gonna win like they do at all esports
They're good
maybe,
at StarCraft.
maybe.
and league.
As
They're
a-
always
Yeah,
in the
the-
finals
yeah,
for
of
league.
course they are.
As it seems to me, it's like there's the top team
Oh, that's
is
right, they
like a
won.
Korean team, but the second team, the Dallas Fuel, are like a bunch of Western people. Like
Dallas Fuel.
it's not dominated by Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what the top
'cause
team is.
It's one of those things like is even especially in like the league world finals, like you'll see there's all these teams and then almost immediately all of the American teams or like the niche teams gone. In the finals almost every time are just all foreign Korean teams.
It is very funny.
Although I believe a third of the people in Overwatch League are Korean.
The best
don't-
part
Right.
is a lot of excellent games. Probably the best games are made in Japan, but the esports games are all American. I always
it's
find that
kinda
hilarious.
strange.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There's no Japan team, huh?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Too
there's-
good for
There's
us.
a China team.
They're
that-
too good
yeah,
at making
right.
Dark Souls.
Would that be because I know Japan does not buy Microsoft products,
Pretty
right?
much.
Right.
Is there
That's
some kind of
awesome.
stigma against Blizzard in Japan because they're an American company?
I don't know if there's any stigma against
Like
any
the
of them,
same
they
way
just-
Microsoft is.
No, they
But-
love our American movies. I don't see why they wouldn't like our games or things
Yeah.
like that. Because like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, those are huge in
No,
Japan.
yeah, but
I don't think there's anything against Western stuff. It's just that Japanese stuff they support more because
Yeah.
it's nationalism.
sense.
Sure.
Like they're more about Japan than they are
It's funny
about,
because
like-
a lot of gamers are more about Japan too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's because weeaboo culture is really,
is
really
strong.
taken
This is
off.
my life. I
Oh,
know.
But yeah, Overwatch League is hype as fuck. I've watched all the matches so far.
I've watched a few. Not
How,
as not
how
as
much are
good.
tickets?
I
think it's $5, right?
No, I think each day is like $20.
Just a stream?
No,
No,
that's
no,
totally
Oh.
live.
you stream it for free to
That's-
go to the
okay.
stadium. I believe it's $20.
That's
Not
it?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the stadium and
You
everything.
can only see 3 games,
And you can get,
it's sure it's like 6 hours. But
How much
still.
are the shirts? Not the jerseys.
The shirts are like 20 or 30.
Okay,
bucks,
well,
I
what
forget.
do you mean by 3 games? Is it like
Three matches.
3 matches?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each match is 4 games.
so that can be
Uh,
kind of long. I mean,
I mean, what do you?
It's 6 hours.
What do you
basically.
want though?
fuck, holy shit.
Like
Yeah.
It's
you
more-
you go to a baseball game, you see one game. You go to a football game, you
Right.
see one
Right.
game.
I guess so, but there's 240 games in the whole season.
yeah,
so it's
but
like-
I think it's the same thing.
It's,
I
it's
see
the
where
same
you're
thing
coming
in
from.
concept. Like if you're gonna go to a baseball game, there's 162 of them every year, but you're only paying to see one. So the fact that you're paying to actually get to see 3 professional games, that's a fucking
Pretty
bargain.
dope.
So
Yeah,
here's
and it's
my-
the environment too, like the whole culture.
So Bernard,
Here's my question, since I don't know crap about this. Do they got beer there? You
at
know?
the stadium, I
Sure.
don't think so,
I-
because I think minors and everything are allowed in.
So-
and
So are
so-
well,
I mean,
baseball
They still,
stadiums.
yeah, they
Yeah,
still
that's
sell
what I'm
beer
thinking. I
at
mean,
baseball stadiums. I'm
That's
gonna
true,
look
huh?
right.
If it's a sports thing, because I like the idea of the esports league. I mean, I've been a fan of Evo for I think 10 years now.
Nice.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
that's
just
good.
love the hell out of Evo. I love
Street Fighter, hell
Do
yeah.
they have beer
Uh,
at Evo?
Yeah, because in Vegas.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can drink like crazy. But the idea of it, I think this is a genius concept. I mean, playing video games is actually a sport and make people. And if you have people pay for beer and stuff on it, even better. I'll go down there and watch it just for the hell of it. I don't know what
Yeah.
the hell's going on, but I bet you if I had a couple beers with me, I'd be cheering for somebody sooner or later.
What if you had
Well,
to
it's actually been going on for a long time since Quake, 2 or 3.
But
Yeah.
on this level,
Yeah, well, it's
Not
getting
like
bigger.
arenas,
esports
but
arenas have been a thing.
yeah,
already, but
in South Korea, that's like the biggest thing. Like they're
Yeah,
bigger than
I'm
our
not going
football
there.
stadiums. I know, but I'm just saying it's been around for such a long time.
Yeah, in
That's
America,
not a new concept.
In America, it wasn't that they had stadiums. This is a specific stadium made for this, whereas before it was they'd go to the convention
Well, no,
center or
it's-
somewhere else.
no, it's they have esports arenas already.
well,
Like,
yeah,
Well, in
there's one
America.
Irvine. Yeah, there's one in
Oh.
Irvine. There's I think there's one in San Francisco.
I thought they did it like LA
Uh,
Convention Center, Anaheim for
it's MLG.
BlizzCon.
MLG does a lot of the specific arena
Gotcha.
stuff.
I think their point is that they built they built this place from the ground up specifically for
Designed
one-
for that.
exactly.
For
That's
Yeah, and I'm saying
amazing.
there were already things like that.
that's
To-
amazing.
at this scope.
It's so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, in South Korea, not in America.
Also here.
I don't know what
There's
you're talking
not
about.
nearly as big. Yeah, like there's.
But when was
that's
that?
MLG
Though?
esports
We're talking
arena.
about
Yeah, but-
recently.
That's MLG though. This is specifically for just Blizzard, like just.
It's they built their own.
That's
they're
like-
gonna have Blizzard events. Yeah, but
My point is, it's like this is like having Dodger Stadium or Angel Stadium. It's a stadium made for that presence. It's not. It's not like
So
a.
Let's break it down to like
Yeah.
Citizens Bank Arena.
Yeah,
yeah, because it's not specifically for a team, but it is.
I'm
it
just
is
saying
by
how
Blizzard.
it's like it's for
But
this
MLG's
game.
MLG's also behind this arena. Actually,
Oh, okay.
they sponsored like the whole thing of Overwatch League.
Speaking,
They're kind of the driving force behind esports arenas.
just to shift subjects a lot actually. I was gonna say slightly, but it's
Yeah.
actually like completely almost 180. Speaking of Citizens Business Bank Arena, I'm gonna be going there next month to watch WWE.
I was gonna
Nice.
say for
Dude,
wrestling.
I go
Yeah.
there all the time for basketball games.
Nice man.
I'm Agua Caliente season ticket Clipper. Agua Caliente Clippers season ticket holder, and I got to play in one of the free throw games and won like $3,000 last time I was there.
What
Nice,
dope.
man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
great. I can shoot free throws, and I didn't think I could. It's been like 10 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. So
Um,
he's instantly more skilled than all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can
We
pick
all
up the
knew that.
basketball.
we're talking about recent news.
Nintendo Direct happened today.
Yes,
What is
sir.
that? We got an
Well, it's a
email at
direct-
GameStop, but we
Nintendo
didn't.
Direct Mini. I should
Yeah.
say.
But
But
I-
it's whenever Nintendo makes announcements, they have a direct. It's
Right.
like
I don't play Nintendo,
So,
so I don't know what.
to break it
Nintendo
down,
Direct is.
Nintendo doesn't
it's a
even
press
have.
conference.
It's kinda like they don't. They're not on stage. They don't have it live. It's they prefabricate it. They don't
Fair
do
enough,
press.
yeah.
I thought it
conferences.
was a thing.
It's
It said Nintendo Direct. I was like, is it something like a console that you
no,
download
it's-
games
it's-
to?
So
or-
what it is, it's basically like a podcast that they do every once in a while,
Oh.
where they show off
like their
new
bulletin.
games. They show off gameplay.
So it's going to be more recent
announce-
updates, basically, is what
Yeah.
they're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and new games coming out. They've been doing
Or
it
old
for
games.
Bayonetta 3.
remakes of old games.
Bayonetta 3.
And yeah, the thing that was the big like surprise
It's
was
Bayonetta 3.
Dark Souls remastered.
Yeah, but it's also on PS4.
Right, but I mean it's
But they
on
announced because it's
Switch.
for Switch.
I,
so
yeah, that
it's-
is really cool, actually.
Yeah, I'm.
I just
getting
want
that
it
for sure.
Everybody needs Dark Souls
And
Dude, I can't wait-
everywhere. All
I can't
time.
wait to Dark Souls in my bed.
You don't
Yeah.
do that already?
No, I don't
He
have a
doesn't-
TV in my room.
Yeah, you. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Um,
I'm like, I only Dark Souls in my underwear, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
SNK Heroines looks interesting because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all
I didn't-
ladies from SNK games.
Oh,
It's a
dope.
fighting game.
I saw
Fuck
that was a thing.
Yes.
I didn't look
Yeah.
into it.
All right.
Nice.
Yep. So that
Almost as
looks-
good as Dead or Alive volleyball. Let's
All
make this
right.
happen.
It is a fighting game still, though. Too. It's not a
Hey,
spin-off
hey,
thing. So.
I won in volleyball a lot.
Oh no,
That's
I'm not saying
because
it's
you
a
were
problem, yeah.
distracting everybody.
I actually do like the volleyball games. They're kind of fun, as well as just.
Don't think I ever got
Yeah.
that far
Well, I
in
was
the
being
game.
facetious, but okay.
I also play fucking Senran Kagura and shit like that.
Hell
so
yeah! Well, those are good games and a good anime. It's a good stuff.
I'm trying to
Um,
see if they
But-
sell beer.
What
I
else
haven't
was
seen.
there for the Nintendo Direct?
Bayonetta 3.
Payday 2 is coming out
Again.
next month. I think. It was.
Again, they already
Yes.
released like 2 copies of that.
For the
Right.
Three-
Switch.
Well, on the
Three
Switch
ga-
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
So it's probably going to be Crime Wave Edition again.
Yeah, it's the Crime Wave edition. And it also has another new character in it who has this fucking like LED mask that changes and does all these cool shit while
What
they're
the
playing.
fuck?
Yeah.
It's fucking Guy Manuel, whatever the
De
fuck.
Cristo,
De Cristo, yeah. From
Uh,
Daft Punk.
In my head, you were saying Lin Manuel Miranda.
Who?
Oh, he wrote this. He was one of the people who got famous from Hamilton, the musical, and
Ah.
also Moana.
Oh,
Ah.
that's why that name's familiar.
Moana
That's
or
funny.
Hamilton?
Both.
They
Oh,
showed
okay.
off. They showed off more Kirby gameplay as well.
they did?
There was.
I didn't
there's-
see.
They talked about 2 Kirby games.
The
There was
Battle
another-
Royale one or the other one?
and
Star
and
Allies.
the Star Allies and the
Okay.
Battle Royale one. They talked about both of them.
Is Battle Royale like co-op competitive or I mean like versus? Because it
What's-
looked like it was just PvE.
Yeah.
What is
that.
this? What is Battle Royale?
It's let me.
Kirby's fighting Kirby's. That's it.
No, but what's
Oh.
it on?
DS.
On
3DS.
Ah, man.
I think.
I have a 3DS, but I don't want to play 3DS.
Pretty sure
games.
it's on the 3DS.
Yes, 3DS.
That's the commercials been going
It's
on
coming
every 20 minutes.
119.
That was one of the worst parts
What?
about working at GameStop.
You're the
Oh
same
no,
thing.
that one already is out. No, Battle Royale's out. What is the
Oh,
next one?
Star Allies. That's
Yeah,
coming out
something
this
about
May.
stars.
They
No,
talked
sorry,
about
March.
2, though.
March 18th, I think, is Star Allies.
I don't know. Nino Kuni 2 is coming out in March.
I don't-
I'm dying.
Excited
I want it.
I do
I
that.
want it
It's
so
so
bad.
good.
I want it so bad.
This Nino Kuni is amazing.
It's wonderful. Dude, I got to play at like 2 anime expos ago. They demoed it.
The Nino Kuni 2.
Yeah. It felt so good. It's like Kingdom Hearts.
I think Nino Kuni was probably the first game that I ever bought that I would simply bought for the graphics
That's
first because
neat.
I've never always like I've never been a graphic person, like that's not important to me, but that game, like
Studio Ghibli, you can't go
yeah,
wrong.
exactly. And the gameplay is fine. Like I think it's okay to good,
Well,
but
the new one's going to be excellent.
Would Cuphead fit in that category too?
no.
No.
I mean that was a
That's just a
driving
good
factor,
game.
but I actually saw the gameplay and immediately like that's just my style of game. Granted, now if it wasn't my style of game, I still might have bought it anyway just for the music and
Mhm.
the graphics, but it just so happens that that's like right in my wheelhouse.
I'm so bad at that game.
I never heard that expression. Wheelhouse?
Oh, you've never heard that expression?
No.
It's where he stores his wheels.
I guess so, right? What the fuck is that?
House, too.
How old are you again?
24.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
I am too. So,
Are you?
Yeah.
You're a mature 24.
oh, that's not.
I-
As I'm sitting here wearing a TMNT
I
sweater.
listen to Parliament Funkadelic.
Anyway.
You ain't play Aka Boogie on the
That's-
way out?
Hell yeah.
That's amazing. So I will say that the thing that I saw was rumored about the Switch that I'm really excited for is that Waluigi might be getting his own solo title.
Huh.
What
Oh
the-
yeah, that's all.
Again?
That's all
Wait,
rumor mill.
That's
different.
rumor mill.
Never mind.
That's
Didn't
what
he have one?
no.
Waluigi?
No.
Waluigi. No.
Yeah, I know. I thought there was something. I don't
no,
know.
he's never had his own. He's always been my favorite, and he's never had his own game.
But the-
like
one of-
Wario has had his own.
WarioWare, yeah.
Yeah,
And the
well-
ones before.
WarioWare,
Game Boy.
Wario Woods, and then Wario had a really good platformer that for a long time was exclusive on the Virtual Boy, so
Oh,
no
yeah.
one played it, but it was like really good. Everyone who
funny.
played it was like, "Wow, this is great."
But it doesn't
Too bad
belong
it's
in the virtual.
bleeding my eyes, making my eyes bleed.
Bleeding my eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's red. It looks like blood. And it's bleeding in your eyes.
yeah,
With the Virtual Boy that's trying
yeah,
to look in
that's
it.
fair.
Yeah.
I remember going to. Have you, any of you guys ever actually played a Virtual Boy?
I have not sadly.
I looked at
Yes.
one. My
Renard.
friend has one with all the games.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I,
You know
uh,
him.
do you-
Tony.
Oh, okay.
Tony.
I remember. I don't even remember where, but I was younger and I went to a family member's house and they had the full standee like you would go in the store. It's like Virtual Boy,
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And he goes, yeah, it's like virtual reality. And mind you, this was still like at the time, like I was playing my PS2 and stuff. So I'm like, holy crap.
Whoa, I could be inside Monster Hunter.
Right. He had Mario Tennis loaded up and he had the Wario game. And so I go in there and I start playing Mario Tennis and I'm just like, oh. Oh, that's all I could say. Like,
Oh yeah, that's Mario Tennis's Switch coming out, new one. That was fucking cool.
yeah.
Sweet.
No, the Switch is a really good system. Like,
Yeah.
it's on track to being one of the best selling systems of all time. No.
Yes, it's already.
It already is one of the best-selling systems. Yes.
It's breaking the records for first year sales
I
like
don't
already.
See, when I guess my qualifier for best selling system is smaller, like probably like top 5, because there's only been so many systems.
It
that
might
have been-
be.
Right.
As far as first year sales go, yeah.
No, it's first sales. Yeah, I just mean total.
Not total though. It's about to break
Wii U's total sales.
Wii U's total sales.
in general.
so like what the Wii U did in 5 years, it's about to
But
do
it's
in a
like-
year.
Yeah.
You
Doesn't-
know, my friend scared me today because I was like, okay, because I like the Switch. I think it's really cool.
Right.
But at the same time, for me personally, I prefer my PlayStation at home. I look forward to going home to play something, it's something to look forward to, right?
You can do that
And
with the Switch.
I know, but having the portability, that's like the big thing. Everybody's like, whoa, it's portable. And so my friend was like, oh man, I can totally see that going the way of like every console now. I was like, oh no.
Well, see,
I don't want the PlayStation to be something that I have the option to take with me because it's like, I want
You
to
already
look
had that
forward
with
to
the
going
Vita.
home. And
well, something
know,
that I
it-
think
I don't know. It's a personal thing.
something that I think is worthy of note on that is that if this, if that does become the standard, like they make it to where you can take the system with you,
Portability. Yeah.
they could easily put like a Thunderbolt port on there and make base stations so that when you're at home, it fucking amps the power up and you can start playing in 4K,
Well,
doing all that crazy shit.
That's not exactly what I
What already
mean.
happens with the Switch
I
anyway.
get what you're saying.
Well,
yeah.
I understand.
Well, I
It's
mean-
like a luxury that I like to keep a luxury
The
as
Switch-
opposed to being convenient.
Well, my point is, the Switch doesn't actually add power. The dock does nothing but
No.
convert.
Right.
It's just that it has the power, so it allows the system to go full power.
Yeah.
But
And that thing is almost as powerful as a PS4. It's
yeah,
insane.
It's,
Oh, you're talking about like the
I'm s-
Alienware.
yeah, like how they have the amplifier. They actually have
yeah.
a graphics card that adds to it.
Yeah, it's an
and,
external one. It's dope.
Yeah, and I'm saying they could do that with systems so that you have your home system, and then it's like, you're gonna go on the go or you're gonna go on vacation. You don't want to take all your shit.
I do.
You
When
can
I went to
just-
Florida,
That's
took
sometimes
my
it
PS4
happens,
and
yeah.
everything in the headset. It's like,
I-
fuck Florida's weather.
When I was younger, I would always like when my family
Yeah.
would go on vacation, I would always take the PS2.
I'd take
Yeah,
the
we
I
had
would
the
have a
screens
Game
in the
Boy
car.
Advance.
Like,
In my car, I have a power converter that I bought for a PS2
Yeah.
travel kit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, it's what we would go in the hotel. It was great because my PS2 hooked up through coaxial, like one of the
Nice.
old you screw off and you plug it
Yeah.
in. And every time you go to the hotel, they would block the red, yellow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
those,
yeah,
and I'd be like, ha,
got him.
got him. Go to the back of the TV. Perfect. Fine.
I honestly would just bring a screwdriver and like undo it. And
Oh,
just
you're
kinda,
just
like,
a
I
bad
don't know.
person.
It's just a nostalgia
I would
thing.
put it
like-
back afterwards, but it was I used to do that too. I used to just take my GameCube and then when
Yeah,
360
right?
was out, I'd take my 360.
It's just like something I love to have. Like I used to even bring my PS1 places. Like I like that idea of bringing the console and doing the whole setup.
Right.
I don't like the whole boop, there it is. I've been really disliking convenience lately.
Just because.
That's-
Yeah, I don't
Fucking
know why. It's
hipster.
just been annoying to me. Just convenience in general. I like actually, I don't know, working for something. I get bored easy.
You like the grind.
Yeah, exactly.
You just hate PC gaming, huh?
I like PC gaming. What are you talking about?
I was just saying because it's so convenient. It's like
It's
It's
no,
a-
it's more complicated. You
Eh.
got more buttons. You got it. Well, I mod things too on the PC.
Yeah, so
I always
do
have to
I,
mess
but-
with it. So that's what's fun about it. If it's Dark
That's
Souls, I get to go boom. Console commands like edit this number. It's wonderful.
And then controller.
No, yeah, Dark Souls, yes.
It's like every game for me. I don't remember the last game I actually played with a keyboard and mouse.
I play
even
most on
shooters, like I'm
controller.
sitting there and I'm like, I know if I get better at this,
Uh,
I'll be better than a controller. but I
Honestly,
don't wanna take
Overwatch is the
time.
only thing I use a keyboard and mouse for. Everything on PC I use a controller except for Overwatch.
like
I don't know why.
I have to like readjust my brain if I'm playing a shooter on controller. Like Miguel has seen it. Like I go from being like
Dude, I'm fucking good. I'm just saying.
I'm like-
Destiny 2.
I'm like really good with keyboard and mouse, and then like I used to be fine with a controller, but nowadays it's like I go to a controller and I just can't stop fucking up. Like it's
Oh,
so
man.
weird. And then
It's all about movement for me. So
Yeah.
the shooting comes secondary. So that's when the controller is like, woohoo.
it's like
flipping around.
I
shit?
have a warm up period of like 4 hours if I'm playing on a controller before I'm like getting back to being able to do
But
it.
isn't that fun? Like just that warm up, that training. You're like,
4 hours?
all right, and then you start it up. You're like, let's do it.
4 hours of
No,
complete
the,
shit.
the worst experience for you, which is one of my favorite PS4 games, would be the Order 1886. Because by the time you're finally good at the game,
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
I don't have a problem
That's
with
the
third
only.
person though.
No,
Oh,
that is
that's
the
fair.
only downside with linear games for me. Is that when it's linear, it's like each stage teaches you. So by the end of the stage, you're like, okay, I'm used to it, and then it teaches you something new. But then the game's over because it's like, well, now I mastered it.
Legit.
There's a lot of things like that for me.
The other day I was playing with a controller on a first person shooter,
Mhm.
and it was more comfortable for me to hold the fucking controller like this.
Yeah,
and use
claw
my-
grip.
and use my index finger to move the fucking.
I do that in Final Fantasy
and
a
it was-
lot.
I was like, this just work because a mouse. That's what your movement is with your finger mostly,
Mhm.
and then you click.
Maybe that's my problem.
So-
Use my wrist.
So I'm just like this, man, just fucking playing with my finger.
Yeah, I
and it
claw my
looks-
controller all the time for movement.
Yeah, usually you use your whole arm for big movements with a mouse.
Yeah, you
see
don't
me
use
how
your
I am at
wrist,
my
it's not
desk.
gonna
I'm
be
like this, and I
accurate.
have my fucking sensitivity on max with like the highest DPI.
Connor plays with his wrist because he plays on fucking almost
Twitch.
max sensitivity.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't do that. I
And
have to like.
I
point.
move. This is like the movement of my hand when I play. Like it doesn't go any further than this. Like I could put my head into the game. It's like, yeah, I'm never more than this.
I can't do
That's
that. Most
crazy.
people don't do that. Even the
No.
pros have like a big ass mat because they do like a full
And it,
sweep.
oh, it's the whole keyboard
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, right.
Woo, here's my mouse pad.
Well, like with the sensitivity that I play on, this gets me spun around. Like just that much. Like
I don't like that though because I like
Screw
being able
that.
to control it. You know, like I know
It's-
exactly where I am.
See, I'm,
I know exactly where I'm. I'm
Well, I
pretty
know you
fucking-
do, but I'm just
it's-
like the movement of the hand.
It's so precise at the point. Like that's my biggest problem with controllers when I play with it. Even on max sensitivity, it's slow for me.
But that's practice. You know, the 4 hour warm up thing that would be the 4 hour warm
That's
up.
what it
is
is.
trying to get used to that.
for me. It's 4
Get it.
hours of slowing myself
Dude,
down.
the controller is so great.
see, maybe it's just because I'm
perfect.
so bad at shooters, but like
Yeah.
even on normal settings, I turn it down. Like I
That's
need it.
funny.
I slow it down. Like if
Yeah, I
my
speed up
friends
the
and I are,
camera to be honest, more so than the movement. Like third person games are what I play.
Yeah,
But the camera is what like I need to swing.
I play a fuck ton of GTA, and that I play completely with controller.
Yeah,
So it's like third person, I'm fine.
but you turn
but-
the sensitivity way up on the camera probably.
Even on that, yeah.
Yeah, but that uses like I guess it's your thumb. So
That's what I'm
with the
saying.
mouse.
It's the same as the mouse because WASD is your movement.
Yeah, right.
So,
And so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because in Dark Souls, I'm like cameras are
Wha-
crazy.
the best thing is when games have quick turn options on controller,
Mm.
and then that helps me immensely because
What is that?
where
like-
you instantly turn
Oh,
around.
click when
Yeah.
you like
Yeah.
click the.
Quick turn, yeah.
I don't like that because I'm always running in a direction that I need to look behind me, so I like run towards the camera
First-
and control.
first game I remember playing that did that was like Resident Evil 4. You're just running, and all of a sudden you just like down A R, and you just leave
Oh,
on
yeah.
completely
Oh.
flipped, turned around.
Call of Duty always has it, so maybe that's why like I'm
Call
used
of
to
Duty?
it. Yeah, Call of Duty had the quick turn options.
Oh, was it? Yeah, so you had to enable it.
yeah,
Okay. I never
and
knew about that.
fucking yeah, it's like because part of my play style when I'm playing a first person shooter is usually run and gun. So when you're run and gun, it's like you'll run past people and you need to be able to flip back around, and that's usually
Right.
the high sensitivity. It's like turn around, you get them, and then so if you have
Destiny
quick
works
turn-
a little different. So
Yeah, Destiny. Like he was watching me play. It took me a bit of a break-in period before I was
I get
doing
it.
okay.
The thing is that I figured out why, because I tried it on both. I play mainly on PS4, but with a keyboard and mouse, it's like Destiny is a very hands-on game.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like you're actually using two hands. So that's where the controller comes into handy. It's like I feel like my left hand is actually controlling a left hand, and right. And with keyboard and mouse, you're just doing that with a finger because it's just there's E and there's Q, and you just hit them like that. Whereas Destiny is just it's all about movement and momentum. So it's just
You ever play Quake
I don't know.
on
Yeah.
PC? Yeah, how you always have to end up
You
like
just
if you
going
don't
across.
if you don't know your fucking macros across to switch, you'll just die all the
Yeah,
time.
and it's only with one hand. That's what's kind of annoying is with
Yeah.
Destiny. I feel like when I'm playing, I can almost turn the controller like this and feel like I'm actually shooting.
Yeah,
And
it's,
it's just it's
the
comfortable.
funny
for
thing
me.
about Quake is it's like you're going like this, like you have to aim obviously,
Mhm.
and there's no ADS, so you're always just going through. Sometimes there's some that have the scope, but you're constantly pressing jump as well. To
Yeah,
get
exactly.
moving around really fast.
You're hitting your
And then you
thumb.
have to like reach up to the macros as well, and you're just like. So when you see someone playing Quake, it's like their hand is
It's
moving
nuts.
in the weirdest way.
That's how I play Final Fantasy 14 on PS4 because that's better on PC, easier to control. Obviously, it's an MMORPG,
Mhm.
but you're playing with a controller. Imagine like World of Warcraft with a controller.
Oh yeah,
So like all the hotkeys going across, you have to like hold down R2, hit triangle, sometimes you hit up, but you're moving and controlling the camera at the same time.
That's why I always
So
love
you're
those macro mice. I like those for playing that
Yeah,
type of game.
yeah. I actually wanted to get one of those for
Is-
my
Are you
left hand for
laughing
the
because you
mouse.
hate macro mice?
No, I was laughing because when you said you that mice, it reminded me of that mouse that company is sending us to
Oh,
review for
yeah.
the show.
I want one of
gotta-
those
let me
like
find
type
it.
pads for the like playing Overwatch or something.
Have you
Like,
seen?
I want one of those.
It's a keyboard that it's
It
two
moves?
circle pads.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
fuck yeah!
It's-
See, that's what I. Oh
It's
man,
so weird. It's like the most like what the fuck is going on.
that's nuts.
What's funny is people who were using it, like it was Linus Tech Tips did a whole video on it, and they found that after like 3 or 4 hours of learning it,
Mm-hmm.
they were able to go like really fast, like faster
Sure.
than they normally are able to type.
It's so
it's
cool.
so weird looking though.
Yeah, because I mean, it's moving with you as opposed to you adjusting to the keyboard
Yeah,
for typing.
it's like here's an A, and like it's so
You're
weird.
reaching for it, right?
Yeah, the whole thing is it's like two knobs. It's
Fuck
so
yeah,
weird.
dude, that's dope. I could use that for
Yeah.
programming.
This sideways mouse
That's rad. So how do you hold it?
like this.
You
It's your palm instead.
yeah,
Like,
That's.
I'm excited to
cool.
see it.
So
Oh.
do you move it like this?
well, I guess all mice fit your palm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I
You're
mean, you can kind
sideways.
of do that now if you turn your.
It's probably
didn't-
better for your wrist, honestly.
Oh,
'cause you're
yeah.
always like this.
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what they were saying. They said this is not made for gaming.
We look
Aw.
really funny.
Well,
I'll
I'm
just
gonna be
go-
using it for gaming.
I
If
told them
anybody's
that.
watching, they can see us just going, "Wow,
Oh my god, it's $110.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
it's
and
not
they're
that
gonna-
bad for a gaming mouse."
It's not a
It's
gaming
not a gaming
mouse.
mouse.
Not a
But
gaming
you can
mouse.
use it for gaming.
You could
I mean,
see.
you can use any mouse for gaming. but-
Exactly.
Yes, but this is just some like wireless ergonomics mouse.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So I'll see how it rocks for gaming.
That's
Man.
dope.
Oh, it's like a
Obelisk.
yeah.
What
I
are you
think
gonna say?
I don't know.
some cylinder you hold
I was
vertically.
gonna say pyramid,
Oh,
but
'cause
it's
you,
like it's all round.
you
a-
gave me
a
a look like
tube?
you were thinking of like butt plugs or some shit.
Yeah, it was like hold a sausage when you're gonna cut it.
I
off and
really-
eat it for dinner.
I want you to get really good with this, Connor. So then you can go to one tournament and you just you bring that out, right? And everyone's just like,
Can someone decorate it with a dildo on top so you're just like waving around a big old dick?
I think
The
I
counter motion weight.
Yeah, exactly. It's useful.
Oh right, yeah, it's dampening.
Yeah.
so.
Woo!
Thanks to Evo Luant for sending us this mouse.
That's goddamn fucking cool.
Yeah,
is cool
relax your wrist. It's
Dude.
built for comfort.
I'm gonna need that when I'm doing, Unity. It's a lot of pointing and clicking,
She looks.
and I need that
comfortable.
other keyboard for when I'm doing the programming part
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I had a
she-
lot of that.
She looks comfortable.
No, okay, so he was just looking at a picture
Yeah.
of Faye Mata, who's going to be coming onto the show next week.
Ah.
She is the voice actress for
beautiful.
Lulu
From League of Legends.
from League of Legends, along with
You
she's
just googled
been
Famata again. Oh,
she's also been in a lot of different animes and
Oh, it's
other
Which
amazing.
animes
PS4
besides
games.
Hunter x Hunter? Oh, Fate.
Faye-
Mob Psycho. Fuck, dude. You guys don't know how much I love Mob Psycho. It's
pretty
the
good.
best fucking theme song in
Okay.
an anime.
So I can just go down the list real quick. Fate, Husband Hotel, out. Never mind,
Altair.
I can't.
Atelier.
What is that? Oculectic 9, Super Dimension
Occultic Nine.
Neptune,
That was a pretty good one.
Maybe this wasn't a good
Oh,
idea
look,
for
Mob
you to
Psycho.
read
No.
the list.
Love Life, School Idol Project.
God damn, she's been in good ones.
Yeah, WGC Ultimate Gamer.
Yeah.
That's cool. And she
was-
was apparently in Street Fighter High, the musical.
It was
Dope.
pretty funny because Andrew sent me the list and I was like, I don't watch much anime. Like, at
Oh,
all,
I
so I
do.
didn't know. There's a Flash cartoon that she was in that I saw a while back. Lucky Day Forever.
What is this we're hearing?
What is
Spooky music.
Spooky? What is this, Bernard?
Mob Psycho.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
No, play the theme song. That's just the first episode. It doesn't start with that. It's a really cool image, though. If you want to see it, it's super trippy.
Yeah, so she'll be coming on the show next week where she's going to be calling in. We're going to get about 15 to 20 minutes with her. So
Cool.
that's going to be real cool. And that's it. But there's some other stuff. There's another
There it
huge
is.
guest that might be coming on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because it's not a definite. You don't want to say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
All right,
Oh,
so
it was the good part.
all right, so I guess now we should jump into our top 5 PS3 games.
All right, see you guys.
PS3.
Plus 3. Do you not have any kind of list?
We got like two.
I played like 2 games on PS3.
They were good
Interesting.
games, right?
Yeah.
I can give you my My honorable mentions.
There you
That
go.
could just be your list.
You get two
My-
lists.
My number 2.
Bernard, you got a list today, my friend?
Yeah, I got one game.
You have
Oh.
no idea how
I
excited
own
I
a
am, guys.
PS3. I have a bunch of PS3 games. I just never played the damn thing.
Guys,
Oh,
I
damn.
wasn't here for PlayStation 1 or 2, and Sony is my favorite thing on the planet.
I wasn't here
Uh-huh.
last week, and that
So
upset
exciting.
me. Did you guys say my list over the thing?
No.
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 We also didn't finish Bernard's because we ran out of time anyway, right?
And he
We talked a
pieced
lot
out.
about
had
Dark
to-
Souls
he had
and
to
Because
go
he
for
left
it.
his list
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
And give me a rundown of them.
We actually ran out of time,
yeah, we talked really
Talking
fast
about
about
all
New
of it.
Vegas and BioShock.
I see.
which were the number ones. Yeah.
Yeah, BioShock, New
pretty
Vegas,
funny.
Dark Souls. Anyway,
The 360 list really fucking hit home
It was a good
with
one.
everyone.
All right. So I guess I'll just go through my honorable mentions, and I was kind of racking my brain on what to put on there and what to take off of it because I really love this system.
Yeah.
But my
It's
honorable
so hard.
mentions again, like with any Sony console, honorable mention MLB The Show, just the franchise itself.
Right.
Just because I play it every year like an idiot. One that
Dude, you're not an idiot.
Oh.
That's the best baseball game
Yeah.
ever.
it
it's
is.
the
It-
only baseball game.
No, he means he plays
Yeah.
it like an idiot.
that is
No,
also true.
He
I
plays it
cannot
because
run.
He loves baseball. More
No,
power to him.
No, he plays it poorly.
He is an idiot.
Oh,
as he
thank you for
I can't-
clarification.
I cannot base run. Like I will overrun, and it's anyway.
I was joking.
Um,
I assumed you were good at it.
I am occasionally good. Like I remember a memory popped up the other day, and I'm like, oh, play ranked match. Okay, it took forever to find an opponent, but finally I did. Right? I feel bad for this guy because I was ranked in like the 20,000s.
I don't know the
Right.
significance of that.
I was near the
Quantify.
bottom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right? And I beat this guy 3-2. I click over. I'm like, wow, he was really good. I click on his rank. He was ranked 77 in the
Damn.
world. And I'm just like, I feel so bad for your rank right now because mine jumped up like 5,000 places, and his was just like,
Probably into the 2000 now.
yeah, he was probably really pissed. Anyway, so my other honorable mention,
This list is
I have
stressing
two
me
other
out.
ones. South Park: The Stick of Truth. I played it on the PS3. I know it was
Right.
both consoles, but really good. And the other one, which almost made my list, I really wish it did, just to piss off Connor. Resistance: Fall of Man.
God.
Why, you don't like it?
I didn't like it.
They made 3 of them, and they were all great.
It's really I
only
really
played
like
the
it.
first one, and it was so clunky feeling.
Okay.
It had like old game feel, and just wasn't into it.
Maybe that's why I like it. But it's first person shooter that I just really enjoyed. I played it specifically to review a few years ago with Connor, and I gave it like an A. And
Give
you
it like
a D.
like a D. Yeah.
All right, so those are my honorable mentions. Con man.
My honorable mentions: Call of Duty Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2. Really fucking fun games. I just didn't put them on the list because there's better games on PS3. Demon Souls. was-
How did that not?
Because I've only played through it once, and I've dabbled in it otherwise.
There you go.
Because the other things on my list, well, the
That's
number 5
not-
is going to make you angry.
I know, but
Uncharted
that-
Trilogy is another honorable mention. Like,
oh, wow. That's-
yeah, I know. Like, I played the fuck out of the Uncharted Trilogy,
I know you did.
but it was like making the fucking top 5.
I just thought of another game.
That's
and
what
my
happened
whole
to
list
me.
Got destroyed.
Making the top 5, I was like, yeah, these other ones got to be there. Like, the top 3 were just like fantastic games that are in my like top games forever.
My
so.
my top 2 for last week were like they're probably my top 2 of all time.
Yeah, they're like these other games. The top 3 on this list were like no brainers because they're in like the top 10 of my all time list. So, yeah, but Brandon's gonna hate my number 5. I already know that.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I know you know what it is because we've heard you
I don't know
talk
how
about
it's
your
number
hate.
5 already. I mean, I thought it would be higher than that.
No, because
Anyway. No.
you'll see.
This is the hardest fucking list. I'm having a really stressful time right now. So my honorable mentions, I feel really bad for them that they're not on the list. I want to apologize for
Go for
these
it, man.
3.
Start playing some sad violin.
Yeah, we'll just start with Jack and Daxter, the collection.
Okay.
That one's great. Number
Yep.
3.
That would have been on my honorable mentions, but Bernard told me to keep it down to 3 this
Okay.
week because
Yeah,
last week I had a fucking.
It was.
It was like a
You had
scroll.
50.
Sure did.
Yes, I did. 'Cause
Anyway,
I fucking loved
Wanna
Xbox.
take away from this moment because Zone of the Enders, the HD collection, is fucking amazing.
That was the original Zone of the Enders had the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo on it.
It did,
Yeah.
and We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
It was Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, by the way.
Oh, such
And
an
we'll talk
amazing
about
game.
that later. But Zone of the Enders 2 is phenomenal, and it really steps up its game in the first level. And I love that game. It's beautiful, and it's the closest thing I can get to flying in Ava because they don't make Evangelion in video games. That is why I found it. And then Kingdom Hearts, the 2.5 collection, was the reason I bought my PlayStation 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that deserves some attention because Birth by Sleep is the greatest Kingdom Hearts game ever made, Andrew. It is.
I think it's.
I know,
I
but
think it's one of the better ones.
It's wonderful, and I fucking love it.
I mean,
Yeah,
as
I
long
love
as
it so
it's
much.
not, as long as it's not that one that's on Game
It was
Boy.
PS2 back in the day, man.
What was?
Metal Gear Solid 2 demo was on Zone of the Enders
Yeah.
Not-
on PS2.
Oh, I got the demo on a different game.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you have the HD remake.
Yeah,
as
the
your
HD
option.
got-
remake had they
He's
did
talking
it
about
Yeah,
again.
that's the one.
They,
I know one of these came with it anyway, regardless. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is awesome. It's beautiful.
If we ever go back to PSP, there you go.
The version on PS3 was better.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, okay. I have one more honorable mention. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys don't really have lists, so
Right.
I can. So a game.
Isn't it only? Oh yeah, that's right. Bernard said
It's
it.
us three, and those two only have like 1 and 2.
Yeah, I got like 3. I found
Good,
a
we
couple
can-
more.
Okay.
Spend more time talking about ours.
So honorable mention that is a game that made me love this style of game was The Walking Dead Season 1. Telltale. It literally made me fall in love with that style of game. And I'm going to say The Walking Dead Season 1 / The Wolf Among Us. The Walking Dead.
The
um,
Telltale
they're-
games. is
They're
what he
both
means.
Telltale games.
Yeah, no, but
I'm saying that. Okay, so here's my
He's
reasoning,
saying
right?
honorable
but
mention.
why slash? It's just
Okay,
and.
I'm about to say these are my reasoning, right? The Walking Dead is what got me into that style of game.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it, and I still feel like the ending to the first season of The Walking Dead has probably hit me in the feels more than almost any other game. But The Wolf Among Us is the perfection of that style of game, and I don't think Telltale has made a game since then that has hit those heights. And mind you, when I was sick and off of work, I literally played all 5 episodes of the Batman one because it was free on PS Plus right now.
The Enemy Within or the?
The first season. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know
right.
what
They
it's
did have
called.
our first one.
I think it's just because like Fables, like that whole series that Wolf Among Us comes from, is just like
Oh, it's
like one of the best comics ever,
It-
dude.
it's in
That shit's amazing.
it's everything about that. The
Oh, did the game
storyline
not
is
do a good job?
The Wolf
The game
Among
did
Us?
great, yeah.
Oh,
it
Oh,
was,
it's
okay.
amazing.
it was their first. It was their like breakout. Like, oh shit. Like
Yeah, it was-
everybody.
It
loved The
looked
Wolf
really
Among
good.
Us.
I never
People-
played it, but that's why
It's
I was
super
like,
good.
I thought you didn't like it.
I don't like it.
People
Okay. I never played it. But
when The Walking Dead came out, like it was very divided because people were like Connor, where he just doesn't like that style of
Do
game.
not like those games.
Right?
So,
but
yeah.
The Wolf Among Us was so good that even people who aren't into those type of games usually, like our friend Cody, loves that game
I'll
and
watch a let's
because-
play of it. But
because the storyline's so good and they nailed the graphics to make it like look like a comic book. Like,
It doesn't look anything like Fables, but it
It's
is
very
pretty comic-y.
stylized.
Yeah.
and it's great. So I will say those are my honorable mentions. Again, or add on to those. And since I just went, I guess I will let Brandon.
well,
Spot on.
Bernard and Miguel need to give theirs.
They don't have
They don't
honorable
have.
honorable
They don't
So
even
it'll just
have-
be number ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
three.
much.
They don't
for
have
Bernard.
full lists.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Whenever it's your guys' like, whenever we hit the number that's at the start of your list, just
Just
say
chime in.
something. All right,
Okay.
cool.
So my number 5, this one was an easy choice. It was going to be on the list no matter what. Number 5 is a good place for it. It's Far Cry Blood Dragon,
Mhm.
my favorite Far Cry game, and probably the only one that I actually like.
But I had that
But
on PC.
holy
That game's fucking
fuck.
rad.
Right?
It's so fucking
You got
good.
16-bit cutscenes and
Aesthetic.
music. Yeah, and the whole tutorial was the best tutorial I've ever seen because I hate tutorials. Just
Yeah.
like the protagonists in this
So
tutorial.
great. Loading
It's so
tutorial.
fucking
and he's
good.
like, I don't want this tutorial.
tutorial bullshit.
And it was
Ripping out cyborg hearts.
the
fuck yeah.
voice actor, wasn't it? What the fuck his name that comes back in the Terminator? It's the guy who played that.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf wasn't in the Terminator.
Oh, yeah, Kyle Reese
Yeah.
character.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's actually what he looked like too, and it was really cool. It
Yeah.
was so cool. It was just like
They-
Terminator, dude. It was fucking dope. There's nothing cooler than the aesthetics
It's-
of Far
dude,
Cry Blood Dragon.
The fucking bow is
it's
so
blue?
rad. And
Neon?
and it leaves fucking lag trails
Neon?
behind and everything.
Looks just like
Everything.
Akira. Those motorcycles. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And then you can
It's so cool.
fight Tyrannosaurus Rexes. You know, they're
Yeah.
blood dragons, but they're fucking
They're all
T-Rexes.
neon and lit up, and they fucking suck.
I haven't played it. I own it. I haven't played it.
fucking tear hearts out of people's
Yeah, you
chests
rip
and
out
save 'em
cyborg hearts.
yeah. And you could throw D20s.
You can throw a lot of things.
Yeah, but just D20s, man.
Just D20s.
Roll crits.
It is a good game.
It's so much fun. It's like Tron had sex with Rambo.
It's more just like 1984.
Is it-
Neon.
Is it Kung Fury before Kung Fury?
No,
was a
actually,
thing?
it's Terminator and Escape from New York. It sounds like this.
Yes, it's fucking rad, dude. It's
It's
like
Vaporwave,
it's
the
so
game.
much fun. Like it seriously, it would be one of those things that I would throw in here, but I played it on PC, so
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure.
It's not on a PS3 list. It's
God.
fucking good.
The
You
moment I
really need to
saw
play
it-
I can tell by how
Okay,
many times
here.
you said "fuck" in the last.
This
minute,
is how
Connor.
much I love this game. You know our logo?
Yeah,
That's what the logo for Far Cry Blood Dragon looks like.
Oh.
That's where I got it from.
makes sense.
Yeah, that's how cool it is.
That aesthetic is probably what I would think of when
It's
I would
my
think
favorite
of
thing.
Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Sometimes, yeah, when you're playing Far Cry Blood Dragon, the fucking tracking logo comes up, and it like
It looks all
it's
like,
like semi-load
vaporwave.
screens, and it gives you that fucking VCR look.
when
for
you
a
get
second.
hurt because you repair
Yeah.
yourself and it go,
That's funny.
yeah, and like I said, the cutscenes are all 16-bit. So
Yeah.
it's like Super Nintendo.
That's
Super
rad.
cool.
It's so cool. Soundtrack. This is what I was listening to before we came in today.
Nice.
To be honest, not even the soundtrack. Just
I was when he
God.
rolled up to my house. Well, actually, it was just before he got there. I was listening to the fucking Uncharted theme.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What's your number 5? We can talk about this all day.
Sorry, I don't
wouldn't
even
it go
look
to-
at this.
what is the-
Well, did you get
Counter,
5?
it would be.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Oh,
Oh,
You
okay.
got 5. Do we want to
Oh,
go?
you figured out 5. Cool.
Do we want to go this way? Do we wanna go that
Counterclockwise
way?
today? Why would we start doing that now?
I mean, whatever way you guys want to go.
So somebody go.
Here,
Doesn't
I'll
even-
go.
Bernard.
Go
So,
for it.
My number 5 for best PlayStation games is any of the SingStar games.
Okay.
I loved, bringing up the microphone,
Doing it in a party.
singing along, and just having a good time. Me and Britney Spears would love the hell out of it. so I did the whole songs like, "Oops, I did it again."
Sweet.
You play with okay. I'm done.
I think
I love
uh,
Britney Spears, man.
my favorite part about those games is that you don't actually have to sing; you just have to hit the note. So you can be like,
It's like Rock Band, yeah.
Like you can mumble it all in there,
But
or
really,
just change
really,
it.
My number 5 would be the Rock Band series.
Hell yeah.
I don't think there's anything better for a party game that you can bring around 4 people playing together, and just when you start introducing things like the Beatles edition or special bands, everybody just came over. Got a
Man,
couple
the
beers,
original
and played
one
the
had
hell out
Coed
of
and
it.
Cambria.
I think my high school is just twisted, man. I remember because I finally I kept bugging one of my teachers. I'm like, hey, can I bring in my 360 so everyone can play? No, can I bring it in? He finally says yes, right? I bring Rock Band and all the instruments, and they're all playing, and they're like, yeah, this is cool. And then all the girls they start playing Left 4 Dead, and that's all anyone wanted to play
Huh.
all day.
You know, like I was a weenie,
Sweet.
so I didn't drink in high school or anything like that.
Neither
But
did
I
I.
didn't.
when
either.
That's a
Like-
normal human being.
well, I mean, Yeah. like the way.
I was an adult when you guys were in high school. That's
So,
Sweet.
why.
well, my point about it is like when people would go and have
To
parties.
be
It's like
fair-
Rock Band and people bringing a random bottle of vodka. or
I
some
played
shit is
DDR.
normal.
I
Mo-
went from Guitar Hero. I went DDR,
Yeah,
Guitar Hero,
DDR
and
too.
back to straight DDR.
Yeah, DDR was the shit back
Right? I
Yeah.
still have my PS2. I think I still have DDR Max 2. If not, I'm going to Franken Sons
Used to
and
play
buying
the
it.
Cyber Arcade. Yeah.
I
Yeah?
have metal pads if you want to buy them off me.
Fuck, dude. We'll talk later.
All right. So, do you have a 5, Miguel?
No.
All right. So
Pretty much only have a 2 and a 1.
Sweet.
my number 5 is
Wait. Before we go, do you have any cross-platform games that would work?
It would be my 360 list again.
Just
Sweet.
again.
Dark
Other
Souls,
than
awesome.
the first, the first 3. The top 2. It would be Borderlands 2
Oh,
and Dark Souls.
Yeah, cool. Good stuff.
There,
All right,
they've
good-
been-
good-
they've
good
been
stuff.
said. There you go.
all right. Cool.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is Shadow of the Colossus
Hell yeah.
The
It's a good one.
slash
Safety.
Ico.
Little
Though
cool.
I never played Ico. I just played Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, that would have been on there too.
Man, what an experience that game is.
It's pretty damn.
Have you seen what the remaster looks like?
I am
good.
so
Pretty
excited.
fucking good.
It's one of those games that they haven't really
Dun,
made a
dun,
game like it since,
dun,
other than
dun.
Titan Souls, which I
Bum,
played
bum,
on
bum,
PC
It's
recently
Titan.
all the way through.
I'm sure
It's-
it's an indie game that's trying
Yeah.
to copy Shadow.
Sort no.
Oh, you mean Castlevania Lords of Shadow?
It's
the one
no,
that ripped out
it's-
a boss from.
No, Titan.
It's Shadow of the Colossus if it were played like 2D Dark Souls.
I figured it was one of those, kind of like Salt and Sanctuary, which is
Yeah,
actually pretty fun.
It came out. Titan Souls
But it's
came
like
out a long time.
75%.
2015.
75% off.
Oh,
on
I
Steam
see.
Right now.
I see it. I saw
It-
the graphics.
It's
Yeah.
a top down.
Isometric, yeah.
It's so good. But anyway, Shadow of the Colossus is a game that is beautiful. The gameplay is like no other game really that I've played. Like, I don't think any game has succeeded in making me feel as small as Shadow of the Colossus did.
It's the coolest thing.
And I remember playing with my dad. I think it was Christmas, and they
Did you climb up your dad like a Titan?
Colossus.
He was.
Same Attack on Titan.
Whatever. Same
Colossus.
thing.
I don't remember.
Colossal
have you guys
Titan.
played it?
No.
No.
Yes.
Shadow
Oh,
of the
Wait,
Colossus. Yes.
little
Yeah.
bit, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought we
I
were.
don't remember which one came first. Was it the one that flies or the one that goes underwater?
the first.
Flies.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's the flying
yeah,
one.
the flying one is.
The flying one. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was the flying one. My dad was playing, and he was just watching me, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to fight the next Titan, or the
Colossus.
next
Ha!
Colossus,
I
whatever?"
got it.
And he was all like, "Yeah, sure." I gave it to him, and he goes to do it. He grabs on, and he starts flying in the air. I remember him going, "Ah!" like, and then he's like holding on, and he flies off. Fantastic.
I think
You died.
the greatest thing about that too is it's like you're the bad guy.
Yeah,
You're
I love that
totally
shit.
the
Like the
bad guy.
person. Hold on.
Well, they do the whole ambiguity thing. It's like you have like it's greedy, but you do have like a
At the
good
end of
purpose.
it, no, you grow horns and you unleash evil on the world. You're
Yeah,
the bad guy.
I understand that, but you're not a bad guy.
You're greedy because you're killing these
You're killing
innocent
the
beings to
things.
save your girlfriend, sister.
Yeah,
who
but you're
knows?
being
So what's
manipulated
the-
the whole time.
Yeah, that there is that, but what's the difference between that and like any action movie ever? You're killing a bunch of people who just got paid to do things.
Yeah,
this
but
one's a little
usually it's
different.
Like
You're
an
killing-
evil organization that they're like about to nuke, Bolivia. Or
No,
some
I feel
shit.
like in Shadow of the Colossus, it's more like, say, we invaded another planet and started killing all the native people. So it feels more like that, in the sense that you're wiping out what's natural there.
Yeah.
So
It's one of those games I feel like even if you don't like it or like right away or you're not in love with it, I feel like everyone should give it a try. Like because it's again, there's no other game like it, and there hasn't been one since. It's really weird because that game is really successful and people really like it, but no other companies have ever tried to make a game that's similar.
they don't need to. I think they went, oh, okay.
Like that.
I mean, there's another company I'll talk about in a
Um,
little bit too that's similar.
that company makes the most original games between that, Ico, Last Guardian. Like
Is that all
when
they've
you-
done? They keep remastering the same
there
ones?
might be one other one.
Yeah,
I
right.
can't honestly. I don't know. But you know that company. Like you see one of those games, and you're like, oh yeah, no, it's them because no one else makes games like that.
What happened to The Last Guardian? Because I didn't play it, but it seemed like the hype was like boom, and then
Well,
no
it
one
was-
talked about it because they
I-
didn't want to not
it
like
got
it.
made.
Yeah,
I
it
played
got
it.
made, but everyone's like,
Well, no, it all the hype died already. It's like people were like, "Oh yeah, it's finally coming out," but really, it's like everybody was over it by the
Yeah.
time it really came out.
but why wasn't it as good as Shadows
Um,
of Colossus? Like it looked like it
the-
was gonna be something that was groundbreaking. Like
There was
that
we,
one.
we don't know
when
if there was. It's
when
just the
I
hype
played
was
it,
gone. There was
when
no.
when
Sorry,
I played
let's-
it, it had frame rate issues, and on top of that, the camera was horrible.
Oh yeah, Christine talked about that. Someone else.
That's crazy that it would have issues after being delayed for fucking.
Well-
like
Well, I
10
mean, it
years.
was originally developed for PS2.
PS3.
It
was
was
it-
Yeah, it was supposed
Yeah,
to
it
be.
was,
I
supposed
might-
to be,
I
it
was
was
the launch
originally
title.
supposed to be a launch title
Yeah.
for PS3. It didn't get made that whole generation.
Yeah.
They were still working on it. It actually they like shoehorned it into a PS4 game because it was like, how long into the PS4's life cycle?
Dude, it was like 3-4 years.
They were originally gonna keep it on PS3 as well.
Yeah,
like
but
up to the end, and then PS4 came out, and they were like,
Fuck.
they went they
It
went
was
silent.
To redo
It was
it.
coming, yeah, and it was. It's like okay, they went through the entire PS3 era of not making it, and then but by the time it came out on PS4, it was already the amount of time that PS4 was out. It was already like longer than many games even get made. In.
Yeah.
It was like 3
Well,
years
Kingdom
or
Hearts
something.
3,
Yeah, like, a lot
I'm
of
hoping
games came
Kingdom
in
Hearts 3
too,
doesn't have
so-
this problem too. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 was being in development for PS3.
Yeah.
And then they had to scrap the whole project because they switched to a new engine and
Mhm.
rebuild it all from scratch. It
Right.
was supposed to come out in like 2015. Like that was the second release date. And then all of a sudden, boop,
Yeah.
2018. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
That's my number 5.
Yay.
Con Man.
Cool.
The Last of Us.
Mhm.
So, I knew Brandon hates it. Like we've
I
talked
don't
about it
like
before. He
it.
just really doesn't like it. But I think
don't.
it's. We've spoken about it before, just of how good of a game it is. It's solid fucking story. You don't like playing other people, but
Well, I don't mind playing other people. It's just speaking of the same voice actor, Booker DeWitt is just fine.
but yeah, The Last of Us. Can we get The Last of Us theme actually? Because that shit's good.
That shit's good.
It's really good.
That storytelling, it's mostly the story and the way it's
I
done.
actually, when you
kind
said
of-
it, I changed the theme. It just sounds the same from the last crap you guys had.
This is not The Last of Us theme though.
It's The Last of Us.
I'm not going to sit here and
original
argue
soundtrack
about
right
it. Just
now.
listen to the
This
music.
is just one of their ambient themes. But if you
No.
put the theme, you'll see it's
No,
it's
no, no.
OST.
This is the menu song.
yeah. It's also they use it when it's like randomly in transitions and stuff.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Huh? I do remember
So,
hearing it throughout
anyway.
the game.
But like the actual main theme song,
The guy wrote for the game. It's yeah. It's a. I wonder if this is the same song. This is just.
Here it is. I think this is him. Yeah, but he's from Argentina. It's Sergio something.
I don't remember.
But yeah, the amount of effort he put into making the soundtrack for this game.
Gustavo Santabalala.
Santa Balala. Okay, whatever. He's not Balala, huh? You just kind of ended it.
I
there,
was
or is that
like-
actually
Es Santa o Lala.
Okay.
okay.
That's hilarious then. It sounds like someone just like blah, blah.
It's like Billy and Mandy when he's like Chupacabra
Yeah.
blah blah.
Yeah.
But I think the gameplay overall was extremely fun because it had that tension, especially if you played it in the stealthy way. If you played in the fucking run and gun way, it was fucking hard. But you could go up and like shiv clickers really fast and then move on to the next. It was pretty cool. I thought the story was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and overall, it's fucking good.
I love
agree.
When, go ahead.
I won't talk about it too much because it's also
It's
on my list.
It's like your number
Right.
two.
at some part of my list, so I'll
Probably
go into
number
more
one.
details. But
Yeah.
If it's not your
really
number
good.
one, I think I can guess your number one. Because I think it might be on my list, actually.
But
Maybe
We'll get there.
We'll see. Because you know what? I gushed all this time about this game at GameStop and
Oh.
told people to buy it all the time.
yeah,
Well,
My number one.
I know it's not Abzu, but, because that was, that was where I was around. But this one I talk about way too much.
So
Hang on,
I'll talk
Michelle.
about
something actually I do want to point out about it. It's
The Last of Us will come up again.
the thing about The Last of Us too, because just Naughty Dog as a studio, they were with the PS3 the whole time, and they really showed off the cell processor on the PS3 because it had a weird architecture, as many people know, and if they didn't know, it did. And the thing about it was it's called synergistic processing elements. It's something that's not normally in computer architecture, and it went unused by most devs. Is the reason why like PS3 games usually would look a little worse because they wouldn't even use that whole section. Like Skyrim, for example, had huge issues on PS3
Mm-hmm.
because when they ported it, they just didn't even bother with it. But Naughty Dog, for example, they fully started using it because there's a
What
quote-
does it do?
It
Can you explain it?
it mitigates the processes from it's basically direct RAM almost, where it's
Okay.
actually it's almost like having a cache system going on in your processor. To put an example though, like if you look at the early PS3 games and then like look at the end, how it really ramped up on the production value
Yeah.
is because this cell processor had that like hidden power. When Naughty Dogs themselves, they said that with Uncharted 1, they were using about 30% of the PS3's power
Wow.
with not good optimization.
Wait, the first Uncharted?
Yeah,
It's a good looking game still.
right. And then Uncharted 2, they said that they were getting closer to 100%, but not optimized. 3 was even closer, but they said that they actually got the full optimization and processing power out of it for Last of Us.
That's
And you can
nuts.
see it. Like when you're
It does
looking at
look
Last
really
of Us,
good.
it's like, wow, holy crap. Like when they moved it up to PS4 for the HD edition, it was like they got the more frame rate going on and then, 1080p smoother textures. And it was
pretty.
pretty close though. Like when you see it on the PS3, it's like,
Not a huge improvement.
yeah, it's like it's sharper, but
it's
it's
noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
did
not
an
huge.
excellent job.
It's like the
I'll
fact,
say.
and then like you look at Beyond Two Souls, like that's another one where it's like this.
They
the
used real
lighting-
actors.
Yeah, and
They
you see
look
the
exactly
lighting
like
going
them.
on. It's it really pushed it, and it's very interesting, like how much they were able to pull out of that processor.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird that you bring up Beyond Two Souls and like Heavy Rain. I enjoyed Heavy Rain.
Uh-huh.
It didn't make my list or my honorable mention.
Jason.
Right? I don't know why. Like
Sean.
that one's only okay, but like I love the Telltale
Jason.
games. I don't know what it is.
I thought they were fun. Yeah, Beyond Two Souls was interesting.
I never played it.
I've seen
I just know Ellen Page was pissed off about it.
Forgot about
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
one.
because, that's because they actually made her a model naked.
Yeah,
And
that's
people
You're not
were-
supposed to see it.
Yeah.
But the fact that
somebody-
they actually modeled
It has
nipples
nipples
and
on it,
everything,
yeah.
yeah.
That is a little weird.
That's
Like, why? What's the point?
Yeah, it's weird. So they used, free cam and were able to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, it might have been an artist thing, but even then, it should have never got passed into the game. I'm
Right.
surprised. Well, okay, never mind. They have nudity in games that don't go fucking AO, like
Yeah.
GTA.
Well, that does though.
like the Wolf.
Well,
Among
not
Us.
AO. Sorry, I meant like that
Oh.
game though. She's never fully naked. So what's the point?
She's
of
in a
making-
shower,
She's in the shower.
and it doesn't show. Like,
Doesn't show it. So
the-
why
yeah,
would
right.
you even put nipples? Just
Well,
keep
they
it a model.
They use the model to make a silhouette. It's rendered out.
You
But
wouldn't-
you don't need to color it or anything. You,
coulda-
know, you
you
don't have to make it
coulda-
look like it.
Yeah, you could have.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. It was
Could have
probably,
made them blue.
It was probably done that way by the artist as like an artistic thing.
Right. I
But
get
then
you.
from then on, it should not have made it past him. They should have been like, we can't do that, dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
it should have been a Barbie from
I
here
mean,
down.
did she have anything in her contract that said that wasn't part of the deal?
I have no idea.
So
I don't know.
yeah, there was
Her
that they
likenesses or
weren't-
something?
Yeah, they weren't supposed to do that. It was
okay.
yeah.
So we only have a minute
Oh no.
until it
I have
is
so much to say about my top 4.
break time. I know. So, but that's okay. We have a full hour, and
We'll pull it in.
it's all. We'll make sure when we get it through. Not like last week. You know, you guys were a person down last week, and you still went over.
Yeah.
True, but we all really loved the Xbox 360. Is what we found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna be right back after a quick break, and
This is
we
so
will
much
chat
fun.
at you again in a few minutes.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I don't
Blood
know-
Dragon.
I don't know if we're free right now. Did he? I don't know if Bernard turned us off yet.
Far Cry
No,
Blood
you see,
Dragon.
You jumped,
Bernard's like, nah.
you jumped the gun every time, man.
Just wait for the music, and then then I'll pull you out. We're
Yeah.
good. So now we're done.
Sweet.
30 seconds, all clear.
Chaotic Radio, because the rest is just a waste of time.
I always loved that intro on the PS3. It's like just a crescendo, like you're going into a. For some reason, I just forgot the word for it.
Yeah,
It's a nice little kiss.
Sorry for not being on the ball and put it in the first time.
Going in for the symphony, yeah, that's what I meant. Symphony orchestra.
We're live, my friend.
Sweet.
So when we left off, we were about you started off with your 5.
I didn't say my number 4 though.
So yeah, so we're gonna go on to your
Yeah,
number
go
4,
yeah,
B-Man.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Nice.
So
Every
good.
list needs at least one platinum game on it. Like holy fuck.
I don't think I've played
I
any.
think you say that.
You've never played a platinum game?
I don't think
Never
so.
played Bayonetta, Nier Automata, Wonderful 101 on the Wii U, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Anyway,
No.
it's really fucking good and fun. Like that is how melee combat should be. Like Dark Souls is good stuff, but holy fuck, like Platinum knows how to make a third-person action
Oh,
RPG
you
like
know-
no other.
You know, I love platinum games, but
Jesus.
I'm currently
Yeah, and then you get music like this again.
so this game
fucking
I
cool.
love. I love Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I got a physical copy for free from Platinum
That's
before it came
sick.
out. I
That's
remember I
sick.
took it to GameStop the day before it came out to trade it in.
Oh,
And
fucked
I brought,
up.
No, I didn't. And I showed it to them. I brought my seal
No, I
from
didn't.
them that's signed from Platinum saying they're giving it to me. And they were just like,
So why'd you bring it?
I didn't. I wanted to see what they would say.
Oh,
It was
you
before I
wanted
worked
to.
there.
I thought you said you did.
No, I wanted to. I brought it in because I wanted to just see what they would say. And I
Yeah.
brought it in like, oh, hey, it's official. They gave me this. And they're just like, we
You stole
can't
this.
take this.
We're going to prison.
Yeah, exactly. I love that game. But what I was saying, I love Platinum games, but I'm currently playing through The Legend of Korra.
Oh, that was also them. I forgot about
Heard
that.
that one was bad. is what I've
It's
heard.
not good.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Anyway, okay. They also did Transformers Devastation. That I
That's
heard was excellent.
fantastic.
Yeah, see, I didn't play the one, but
Oh,
Didn't they fuck up on Ninja Turtles too or something?
That one I
that
heard is
one-
okay.
the melee's fine. It's just the way the game is bad.
Anyway,
But, yeah, so Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I love Metal Gear Solid 5, and of course the first one, but this one is my favorite Metal Gear game. Like I cannot get over it. It took us so long to get used to the controls because there's no block or dodge. So like you have to just
there's a parry.
well, you have to. That's what I'm saying. Is like it's an attack move. So it's your light attack that you have to attack at the right time to parry, and then you do some crazy move where you rip out their spine.
Cut Metal Gear
Yeah.
Ray
Fuck,
in
dude.
half.
And that's the only way to heal yourself too. Like how dope is that?
That game is amazing. Like
Yeah,
being
it's
able
like
to
Doom.
cut up dudes like
Yeah,
in a
oh,
million
yeah.
pieces.
Oh yeah.
You go in the thing where you hold. That's where like it's genius where it comes in. It's like you're doing this melee combat. If I could button map it to the triggers, that would be even better. But anyway, just having where you hold it down and it targets, and you just slice in different directions with the analog stick. Like
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. It's
God.
basically like in my head when I was doing that, I turned into E Honda
Yeah,
from
right.
Street Fighter, but with a sword.
You know, an
Oh,
interesting
it's so
story
much
too
fun.
is how that game almost didn't happen.
yeah,
Because it was Metal Gear Solid Rising, and then that got axed, and then they brought it back as Metal Gear Rising.
they could have
Revengeance.
called it Solid 2. I mean, like a solid game because Metal Gear Solid 2 was right in.
Well,
and
it's not
this
just
is-
that; it's just that it actually the project dropped. Like it was not going to be made, and
Oh,
then they
wow.
got it picked back up, and then it came back as Rising Revengeance.
I wish that would happen to Metal Gear
So-
Survive, and then not
Yeah.
get picked up again,
just not.
unless by
You know,
Hideo Kojima.
I think the only problem I have with Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is that it's only like 5 hours long.
Oh,
yeah, and the cutscenes are most of it.
Yeah, but the actual gameplay
annoying.
is
As
so
is tradition.
fun.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
exactly. And the cutscenes are hilarious. Like the when he goes to Mexico in the very beginning, like it's so fucking funny.
It's like you're not fooling anyone,
Yeah,
dude.
he's all serious, just all about it, and the guy across the street, like, what? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a blast,
and you cut Metal Gear Ray in half. Like
dude. You just do so
Rad
much
as
in that
shit.
game. You fight a talking RoboCat,
yeah,
God,
believe-
or a wolf, and it becomes your pet, and it's hilarious.
You have no idea how much that game blew my mind because
Yeah.
I'd gotten free games before from companies because we do all the time. But that was the first time. Not only was it a big release, but they shipped it to my house before
That's
it came out, like a
nuts.
week before it came out.
Dude, if Platinum
didn't-
did that to me, I'd send him back my resume.
I didn't have a.
Please hire me.
They sent me a PS3 title,
Jesus Christ.
and I didn't actually own a PS3 at the time, so I had to go to my friend Ryan C's house, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, I need to borrow your PS3." And
don't
he goes,
understand.
"Why?" And I'm like, "Because I just got this." And he goes, "Deal, but as soon as you're done, I get to play it."
Yeah, that sounds about
And
right.
I'm just like, "All right."
You give it to me, or I give it to you for $30. Let you borrow it for $30, but I still
It
get
was-
it back with.
It was amazing,
5 back.
and it actually didn't make my list. But
Did you just admit that you breached your contract?
oh, I get no, no,
No.
no.
They could do it afterwards.
Other people are allowed to play it. I'm
He's
not
not
allowed
allowed
to
to-
talk about it before it comes out,
Or show
Embargo.
footage or anything.
or show footage.
Yeah, he's not allowed to release it like as press, basically,
Yeah, exactly.
But he can like 11 years later, or whenever it came out.
whenever it comes out. Yeah.
All right, I completely agree.
Sweet.
Bernard, do you have a number 4?
Yeah, I got number 4, and after number 4 is going to be games I own I should have played by now.
Okay.
So, number 4 for PlayStation 3 is Virtua Fighter 5.
All right.
Nice.
Sweet.
Good
Because,
clean
when
fighter.
when you have that much technical things to do in any game, where it's damn near impossible to master, just because of how crazy and how detailed it can get.
Mhm.
Metal Gear.
Still, no, no.
Yeah, Rising Revengeance. We just talked about it. It's crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
No,
Keep going.
You just ruined it.
you killed it.
I'm
man.
done.
So did.
Virtua Fighter's dope as shit though.
I like
Never
Virtua.
played it.
I really like Virtua Fighter. I think it was 2 or 3 on PS2. I got that when GameStop started trying to get rid of all of their PS2 games, like near the end of the PS3 life cycle, and they were just like, "Hey, here's PS2 games for a penny or 2 cents."
Wow. We don't even do
Wow.
that
2
now.
cent, 2 cents actually, because they're not allowed to sell things for a penny.
Right.
So
It's
you
field
would just go
destroying.
you would go in the bin and it's like 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 cents. And I was just grabbing all of the PS2 games.
How
I got
come we
Virtua
don't
Fighter
do that anymore?
for 2 cents. I don't know.
Probably because people actually go on our website and buy, Atari, NES, SNES games,
exactly.
and now we have all those retro games.
All right.
That's probably why we don't have PS2 games, because we don't even take them in as a trade anymore.
Yep.
Or the original Xbox.
You probably GameStop probably will whenever the PS5
They don't do
comes
the
out.
original Xbox.
Couple games. Like I traded in Grand Theft Auto 3 for like $20.
I gotta stop by the one,
Terra Vista shopping
the
center.
Rialto
Oh,
one,
never mind.
whatever. Yeah, I guess they got a game there for Xbox that I want. I'm not gonna say it in case we have
Alright.
For
listeners
sure.
and they go buy it.
So, Miguel, do you have a
No, yeah,
4?
we sell
or one
some.
of you.
I guess. I
Do
don't
you
know.
have a- do you have a
It
number
probably
4?
would have been Heavy Rain.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, cool. So,
Sean,
Jason!
Jason!
you guys have seen the Sean glitch, right?
Yeah, how
I
you could
think
keep
so.
saying it through the cutscene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It
I've
was
seen
through
that.
the- it glitches out.
Sean!
Yeah, through
Sean!
the entire last chapter.
That was really funny.
God, it was really funny because my friend, she posted on Facebook. I think her boyfriend's named Jason or something.
Nice.
And she was just like, "Oh, Jason," like she was mad or something. And I posted it on the glitch of him going, "Jason,
Jason!
Jason." She's not a gamer at all. She clicks on it and she messages me. She's dying. She's like, "What is this? Why is this?"
He heard you.
Jason.
Jason!
Jason.
All right,
The
so
way his, like his, I don't know, his inflection, the way he says
Yeah.
it.
Jason.
Jason!
Jason.
My number 4 is oh man, this list was really hard for me.
Go for it!
My number 4 is Uncharted 2.
Wow.
Nice.
I like Uncharted 2 better than the first one. Like it, I didn't play all the way through the third one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Oh.
wasn't feeling it as much.
Did you stop at the tunnels?
I don't know where I stopped, to be honest with you. I
Oh.
don't remember.
I was gonna say because playing through that game, it's like the tunnels are a pretty dry zone. So I'd imagine like if you were to stop, that feels like a moment where like, it's all
Okay.
dark and everything,
Yeah.
and there's no combat for like
Man.
30 minutes.
Uncharted 2, it is so good. It takes everything that the first one had and just multiplies it,
Yeah.
whether it be the big action or the big set pieces that you're climbing on, the jokes. I was playing with a bunch of friends on the hardest difficulty, and we all cracked up. He jumped in the water, and he goes, "Marco!"
Yeah.
Oh, he says that when you jump in the
yeah,
water?
you jump.
does.
Oh,
you,
it's fucking
you're
hilarious.
going over all the pools, and you jump in the pool, and he just goes, "Marco!"
That's awesome.
Jason.
Yeah. It's great, man. The voice acting is fantastic. Nolan North is great as
That guy's
always.
awesome. Yeah.
And it was a game I'm really glad I played. I remember I got it all 3 from GameStop for $9.99.
Yeah, they're
There was
super
like a
cheap right
special
now.
going on.
If
at
you
the
try to
time.
trade it in, you will get
Nothing.
a penny, 2 pennies.
I remember
All of them.
going in Uncharted 2 and just jumping in the swimming pool in the first level and being like, "Oh my god, the water actually raises with where you are in the pool."
Yeah, it looks good.
And like I was like, he's actually only wet to the knee, and then I was like, it doesn't. Yeah, it's like it's not like
Fucking nuts.
and it's not like tiered where it's like okay, it's wet here, and then it's full.
Right.
It's
And
like, no,
games are still like that.
Yeah.
Like they don't do dynamic.
yeah. and
wetness.
So I remember like the first time playing Uncharted 2 because I played it first before I played 1. I can't remember if 1 did that or not. But
Oh,
2, I
man.
remember jumping in the pool and being like, I was there for like 10 minutes just fucking around with the pool and the water.
Yeah,
That's how I felt with the first
It's-
Crisis on PC. Remember when that broke everybody's computers?
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh man, just seeing like, whoa, I saw it move. I saw the first cutscene. It didn't crash. It was beautiful.
Dude, the leaves are moving.
Whoa,
I
look at the
never-
water. It's moving.
I've never played Crisis. People always like. I know it's a first-person shooter.
Actually, a
but
good game.
It's
everyone
pretty
always
fun.
tells me like whenever I hear Crisis, they're like, "Oh, benchmark."
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
back in the
because
day.
it destroyed a lot of PCs.
It's because it was made. It was like actually it was made to not run on
Oh my
on
God.
hardware. It was made to be because it deals with the story because the story is about future.
oh,
tech
that
and
makes
all that stuff.
sense.
And so the whole point was like it was released, but you really couldn't play it
Not yet.
until like next year. You know.
And everybody was trying to build a PC, and when someone built one, it's like, well, how good is it? It could run Crisis.
can't.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah, right.
They really
It's a
like. And
standard.
the funny thing about that too is that game devs haven't really done that since.
It's
Like
kind of tough nowadays with things
It's
being
kinda-
real.
It's
Yeah.
the other way where most of the time devs will try to like
go
make it
backwards.
under.
yeah, they'll
perform.
tone it back because it's like we want it to be on console
Right, yeah.
completely. Like just
But
Um,
but also they kind of, when they push it too far, it hits that uncanny valley.
oh yeah.
EA's or BioWare's
Yeah.
doing a pretty good job with that
Mhm.
right now.
But like even
But-
even like The Witcher 3 was held back quite a bit because they were planning on console release.
It looks great the way it is.
It does look good, but
Pretty
they
cricket, but-
admitted that they could have gone further with it. And
Absolutely.
they didn't because they wanted the console parity. So
I get that.
yeah.
Yeah, so Uncharted. No. But yeah, it's a great game. I feel like Uncharted is I'm this may be sound wrong, but I feel like
PS3.
well, it is.
series.
Well, I feel like it is like it's almost the face of Sony now. And it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Naughty Dog has always been like
Crash.
Sony. Yeah, Crash before. Like people
Yeah.
always love Naughty Dog, but,
But
I
they
feel like
lost
Ratchet and
Crash, so
Clank
they couldn't
into-
use them. Ratchet and
Crash
Clank, but even
Bandicoot
then, like,
was one of those
I
games
just
that
mean like the
when you
PS2
had
era.
when you had a PlayStation, you played Crash, but I don't feel like Crash was like very mainstream popular.
he was the mascot for the
definitely was.
PlayStation, dude.
Oh,
I know, but PlayStation, but like
You were just out of the loop
People
then.
people who were playing other like Nintendo, they were completely content with their own stuff. They weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, Crash Bandicoot.
I think you're out
Un-
of the loop at that
Un-
time. is what you're
Uncharted
thinking.
Yeah, because they had Crash. I mean,
made
they had a
people
ton.
Buy a PlayStation.
No, I mean they had like Crash and Spyro, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. Like
I
all of
mean,
those are iconic mascots.
those
that,
aren't Naughty Dog. Just
Oh, so okay,
It's-
so we'll say Crash Bandicoot and Jack and Daxter though.
yeah.
But what I was gonna say, like I had my niece's mom, because my brother's her dad. My niece's mom isn't even a gamer, and like she was like, "Hey, do you have Crash Bandicoot?" Like, yeah, it's huge. Like Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoot.
Yeah, I was
is
gonna say like everybody you know has played a Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
No.
And Jack and Daxter
It's-
is like the
It's
face of the
hyperbole.
PS2.
It's- I'm not being literal.
I mean, yeah, because even Jack and Daxter was the big thing for PS2 because it was the first thing like it. Like it had a whole project name and a history behind it before the PS2 came out, and it was the first like seamless open world game
and it was
like
good.
ever, and it was really good.
They're all great games, but
Yeah.
So what's your number 4, Conman?
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Guns of the Patriot.
Play Old Snake's theme? Yeah, Guns of the Patriot.
War.
I always say Gun of the Patriots.
Gun of the Patriots.
Is it Guns of the Patriots?
Guns.
With the
Yeah,
sequel
I mean,
Patriots?
because even Liquid Ocelot even says, "These are the guns of the Patriots."
Oh, okay,
and
that makes sense.
fucking Shoots
That's
the
dope.
helicopters down.
He's a cool guy.
He is cool. And
War.
just playing through that game. As Nate is to me as Ryan is to you, just that guy who always played games growing up, and it's really funny because when we played Metal Gear Solid 4, we just loved the shit out of it. Just played, it's a game that you can play in one sit because it's like 8 hours, and then 3 to 5 of that
fucking cool.
is fucking cutscenes.
They're
But-
all so good.
Yeah, and
Metal Gear.
You know, the other thing too that often gets overlooked is that Metal Gear Online came with Metal Gear Solid 4, and
I didn't know that.
it was fucking rad.
I thought 5 was like the first one.
No, there was an
Wow.
online. There was an online versus. You can make your character and everything, and you had stats, like you actually
Yeah.
spec them out for certain game types and
That's
whatnot.
fucking cool.
And it was like really clean and super fun. Like I played the hell out of that. And it was like at the time too, specifically like back then, multiplayer games weren't as complex as that one did. And there's games now that add complexity in that fashion, but it's like, you know, when you can specifically hide under things or then like shimmy off a ledge
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
then
fucking cool.
and shoot, or like, you know, drop traps and then drop down, and then it's
I need to. I mean, okay, so I
the
have
servers are now offline,
right, but I
sadly.
have Metal Gear Solid 5, but I never played online. But if it's
Uh-huh.
anything like that,
Yeah,
I gotta give it a try.
See, I haven't played 5 yet. I can now because
You
I actually
haven't played
because I was
The
boycotting it.
Phantom Pain. I know the Kojima, he's still in it, and he makes a beautiful appearance.
I know, but I just didn't want to give them any money. I didn't want to give because
No, I
they
mean, get it
took his-
pre-owned so you give it to GameStop.
I got it for free on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, there
I
you go.
just, yeah, I need to play it now.
Fuck, dude, it's.
But
I bought it twice because the definitive edition was cool.
yeah. I
Anyway.
thought it was so cool though, the whole story, and the ending fight scene is so amazing. Like how it goes through and plays the different soundtracks in the fight style changes when you're
That's
fighting each
fucking
other.
cool.
That was the best part. Like at the end of it, it's like you, Old Snake versus Liquid Ocelot. It starts out like in the weird 8-axis thing
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1, and then it just changes, and it's just great because when you get to the end part, they're both tired and old, and they're throwing slow
It's so
punches.
fucking cool.
And it's like now you're at the end, and then when they fall on each other and they both inject nanobots to like get a second wind, and it's like you inject into Ocelot and he goes, and they're like, no, we're
That's so
fighting.
cool.
Like they're not fighting each other anymore. They're just proving a point. Like
Right.
and it's like it's the story between them.
Fucking cool.
There's like a reason behind it. It's like it's much bigger than I beat you, because they both want the other person to fight as best they can. It's so good.
I've never played the end of that. I need to buy it.
Oh,
I know. That's why I'm like, this sounds
So good.
fucking incredible.
it is. It's amazing.
And if you want, you can, you know, play through most of the levels inside of a metal barrel rolling around.
Oh,
Well,
sweet.
you'll throw up, but
Maybe.
Yeah, it looks so weird.
Oh, it
The-
actually
the
spins?
camera fucking like shakes.
no,
Fuck
I mean
yeah.
like Snake will literally throw up.
Yeah, he will. Yeah,
That-
he gets out. He stops and he's like, oh. Yeah, and he
That's so
fucking
funny.
pukes. Like the game will stop.
Oh my god.
And if fucking some of the guards, when they see your puke, they'll stop and fucking
And-
puke on top.
Oh,
of it.
I thought it would like make him notice you.
Like some of them just go, oh, what's wrong with that? And then other ones go, oh my god, and they fucking puke too.
That's so fucking cool. Okay, why don't I have this game?
It's so good. Metal
really
Gear
good.
Solid 4 is amazing.
Which one's the one where you get to do Monster Hunter? That was on a PSP. Was it Snake Eater or 3?
Oh, you're thinking of
Mobile Ops?
no,
it was a main title.
it's Peace Walker.
Peace Walker.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was on PSP. I want to play that so bad because you get to do Monster Hunter.
that one's super fun too.
I never got to play that one.
The graphics are so weird in that one though. Just like getting off topic for a second,
Yeah.
it has this like weird like checkerboard thing going on.
saw that.
It's so weird.
PSP had a weird life cycle.
Yeah,
Checking out how much time we have. Whoa, Jesus, Andrew.
Oh yeah, we do have.
Huh?
Okay, we're good.
Uh,
Who?
People are saying they can't hear us, so I'm
Uh-huh.
turning us up.
Sorry.
okay. Whoa, Jesus.
Okay,
All right.
who's my
You're
number three?
3.
My number 3. Oh my god, I love my number 3. I haven't beat it yet.
You know you
because
can turn up the
fishing
master,
fucking
too.
Sucks.
Oh,
yeah, but
yeah,
it's
already up.
Okay.
Anyway, Nier, the prequel to my favorite game of all time next to Bloodborne is Nier Automata. But Nier is fucking amazing. It wasn't made by Platinum Games, but it's still great, and the story is beautiful, and the music says. I can't describe it. Words can't describe the music in the Nier games.
I'm sure they can. You just don't have them.
I can't, dude. They're so good. Like they're so. Look at this. I guess listen
how
to it
long
because
are
you
we
can't see.
gonna- yeah.
I don't know. All day, it's so good. But
I haven't played a Nier game and I really want to.
that's another one though. That's what I was going to mention. Is you're the bad guy the whole time, like Shadow of the Colossus
Mm.
kind of thing. So. That one is like the person you think you're trying to save the whole time.
Oh,
Turns out
yeah.
she's trying to get away from you, and you're basically the Bowser character trying to steal her.
Damn.
Oh, it's fucking, and you don't even know until the very end. And everything you do,
Oh yeah.
every like shade you kill is like another human being, and it's all like it shows you at the end of how shitty a person you are.
That's another.
It's incredible.
Was it Braid? Braid's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Very similar. Yeah. but I can't talk enough about Nier. Just like walking around in the field is incredible. Figuring everything out. It didn't go to the extent as Nier Automata, or I guess what came first. So Nier Automata did more, where it had like 5 different genres in one,
And it was a new system, so it has more power behind it, so it
Yeah.
can do more.
and it was Platinum Games. This
Yeah.
one wasn't, but either way, the melee combat was awesome. It was cool because I played Automata first, Automata, whatever, and then went back and played this one, and it was just fucking insane. Like just seeing everything, all the references, because Nier Automata takes place 10,000 years after, like
Oh.
10,000 years after the first Nier. So, Nier is already like 9,000 years in the future from us.
Oh, okay.
So it's already
Damn.
super far in the future, but it's like apocalyptic future.
Yeah.
And then you see Nier Automata where it's like an apocalyptic now, and you're like, holy fuck! And that time span just like is
It's
mind
like-
blowing.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Okay, whatever. But it's cool seeing all the similarities because that's the big thing is all this like emotion.
I
Anyway,
wanted to say something that would make you be like, no.
let me go to Nier. So it's super emotional and it's very like human, you know, and it hits at all those elements that really make you think. And then Nier Automata does the same thing, but the whole point of Nier Automata is that they're not humans, so that gets really trippy. So I don't know, seeing it go from there. The first Nier became very close to my heart because of the connection I have with the first one or the sequel. But
Nice.
Cool.
it's a beautiful game, and fishing sucks in it though. By the way, fishing fucking sucks. It works better in Nier Automata.
All right then.
Go ahead.
No, it's
Next.
B-Man, Bernard back there. You're number 3.
Okay, we're up to games I own. I should start playing. Infamous is the game on PS3 I own. I should
Oh,
start
yeah.
playing.
It's a pretty cool one.
All right, yeah.
Infamous 2. Wait, I just cut out. I don't. Or that's my
No, you
headphones.
can-
Okay, it's my headphones fucked up.
Infamous 2
I
had a
couldn't-
really
like
cool
everything
DLC.
stopped for a second. Infamous 2 was like head and shoulders better than the first one.
The DLC was even better though.
Oh yeah,
The neon one. Where she's purple.
yeah. Well, that's on the PS4 though.
That's
That's,
First
uh,
Light.
First Light. Never
Yeah.
mind. Let's talk about PS3 again.
But Infamous 1, it's fun. I definitely recommend. Yeah, go play those because they're fun.
Yeah.
I did put them on my fucking honorable mentions because I had to keep my honorable mentions a little shorter.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it's amazing.
All right, so my number 3 is The Last of Us.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
what a-
like
Cool game. Giraffes.
giraffes, yeah.
yeah, dude. There's,
That's
how
Yeah,
could you
man.
not like
There's gay
giraffes?
porn.
what I said. Giraffes.
I love that part.
There's
when
gay
she,
porn?
Yeah, she ends up like finding.
Oh, that's
gay porn.
right.
She's like, look at the size of that thing.
Fucking Ted? No, Bill.
Bill.
Bill's stash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That game, so good.
People
Though I
like
tell
it.
you, when I first played it, I really didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
I played it, and I played it for maybe like an hour because I got a PS3 for Christmas, and it came with Batman: Arkham Origins.
Oh, that's a bad combo.
and I love that game.
That's what I mean. It's a bad
and
combo.
it came
'cause
with
you-
The Last of Us.
Yeah, because you're gonna play Batman because it's
I
awesome.
I heard The Last of Us was really good, so I
Yeah.
put that one in. I started playing it, and I'm like, I really don't like this, and I put it aside, and I beat all of Batman: Arkham Origins, and I was just like, and I
his,
went out and I bought MLB old the show,
And
like really out of date.
And is Batman Arkham Origins on your list?
No,
No,
it is
it
not.
fucking isn't, is it?
It is
that
not.
was a good one.
But here's the thing, right? So I did not go back to it for months. It was just sitting there, and I'm just like, all right, let me give this another try. And I pop it in. I didn't even bother to start over again. I just press continue,
Right.
and I'm just like, all right. And I'm getting slowly more into it. And then I just noticed like I've been playing it for like 6 hours straight, right? And it was just one of those things where like I went from not liking it and stopping to beating it in like 2 or 3 days, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Like,
Wow.
it went from like almost completely forgettable, I didn't like it, to something that by the end it was hitting me. Like everything, the journey between with Joel and Ellie, all of the side characters. I just really liked everybody in that game. Like
Right.
everyone had a purpose. Like every time someone died in that game, it hit you because everyone felt human.
Yeah.
Like everyone, I didn't see.
Minus the
These-
absolute minimal, like, thug.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like if they got any amount of time to hang out with Joel and Ellie
Yeah.
and be associated with them, you felt for them.
Even if they were against you. Like, those
Yeah.
dudes,
Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into slight spoilers territory.
Okay.
But
It's been out long enough.
right.
Yeah.
I don't remember their names, so I apologize. But at a certain point, Ellie meets a young black kid and older brother or dad.
What? Fuck, I don't remember.
Anyway,
There's
they're hanging out, and eventually the son dies,
Uh huh.
and the dad ends up
It was his
offing
dad,
himself
right?
in
Yeah.
front of Joel.
Yeah.
And I just remember feeling so much for this guy, and I'm just like, holy crap! Like this game, up to the very end,
If you didn't mention it possibly being an older brother, I would have been like, oh, it was the kid
was
and
the
his
dad.
dad. But why does that sound so fucking familiar that there's an
I don't
older
know.
brother?
Henry and Sam.
Henry and Sam.
Yeah,
there we go.
They are brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, they are okay. So
Okay,
yeah.
there we go. Oh man, everything. And at the very end, when Joel takes her back from the hospital and basically was just like, "Nah, man, I
Dude.
come before the human race."
Right, that's some character shit.
I
like, that
was
is-
so conflicted there
God
because I
damn.
wanted the entire time Joel was hard to get close to because he was mourning the loss of his daughter.
and you feel bad for
And
him.
you feel really bad for him, and he slowly starts to love this person who's not his child, but
Uh-huh. And he won't
due to
admit it.
circumstances, basically becomes his child.
Adoptive.
Exactly, right?
Adopted.
And I was at the exact same time when he took her out of there, I was rooting for him and hating him because I understand from his perspective why he would do that, but as just a human, I was like, you're an idiot.
It's so greedy. Yeah.
And the way it ends to the game, it just
I was annoyed with that. I was like, there's no resolution.
I
So why does that
Right.
annoy you? That is the weirdest thing.
Because of the story so far. I didn't like it.
it makes me really want to play the second one.
Okay.
Like
oh my god,
tomorrow.
yes. Dude.
Even though
it
it takes place 5 years later.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Well, yeah, what's wrong with that?
I mean, I felt like it was a cliffhanger ending. It's like, well, can I
Yeah, but
know
it was
what
open
happened?
ended, and like, okay,
I don't
some
think-
people like that, some people don't.
I
You
like
could-
it in context. Like if it works with the story, I like it.
this
But
is why I don't think it's a cliffhanger. Like where it's like there doesn't need to be a resolution because it's already the end of the world.
Yeah,
I guess for this game, like
yeah,
I
because-
couldn't get like I don't like any of the characters for one. Like I don't think they're relatable at all. So that's where it's like I couldn't relate with the characters. So all I had was to try to relate with the world.
uh-huh.
So if it was shitty, it was like you guys aren't doing anything, not saving anything. It's like we're fucking up.
It's
So.
it's one of those like The Last of Us to me is, and I will say early seasons, but it kind of was to me what The Walking Dead used to be. The Walking Dead used to be
Oh, maybe that's why I've always hated The Walking Dead.
No, exactly, but it's not very good anymore. But when it first started, it was a really good character story that happens to take place in the apocalypse.
It's never been as good as the comics.
It's like
The
I
Walk-
love
well,
the
still,
apocalypse. I
it's-
don't like the people.
It still
in it.
used to be really good. Like it
Yeah.
it was generally seen as the best show on television for a while until Game of Thrones came around.
Whoop.
And
Game of
then
Thrones-
it was like it was, or was it on the same time as Game of Thrones?
I
Say
think
Breaking Bad actually beats it for that. but-
Yeah, Breaking Bad
It
will
was-
always be
True.
Walking Dead.
No, well, Breaking. I mean, currently airing because Breaking
Okay.
Bad is the
Ended.
consensus
Well, yeah.
best TV show of all
Yeah,
time.
Game of Thrones started
it's so
before.
I don't-
Breaking
Yeah,
Bad
there
ended.
was-
I do
were-
have to say, Mr. Robot is slowly becoming my
No, they were-
favorite.
I've heard some good
But
stuff.
anyway,
about
Fucking
what I was going to say
amazing.
about it is that for like a season or two, that show was the most popular. But in any case, the reason why it's really popular is because of the characters in that setting, and that's what The Last of Us is. It's not 100% focusing on everything else. It's the characters within that universe and how they interact with it and how they need to be with other people, which makes it gripping, at least to me.
The thing I think about The Last of Us is it does both of those masterfully. It's like the environment you really like see how like fucked up the world is.
Bernard's really excited about something back there.
Basketball game.
Oh,
Okay,
number 3,
cool.
go for it. We got more time for The Last of Us.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
go,
I mean,
go
yeah.
ahead, Connor.
So,
Wait,
mine-
what?
yeah, because we actually do have to move.
Oh,
on.
right, yeah.
So, my number 3 is Mass Effect,
Mm-hmm.
the first one.
Wow.
I love the whole trilogy. I put the first.
I know
one
the
because
second one. Mass Effect 2.
First one's not good.
The first one is fantastic. You
lot
fucker.
of
The
people-
story.
The story
oh,
is good.
the story
gameplay
is-
is horrible.
The gameplay is not horrible.
Thank you, Brandon.
We're on
It's not
equal footing. On this.
horrible. but the story, the lore, the exploration is way
Is
better.
perfect, yes, but
Yeah.
the gameplay itself.
I didn't find the gameplay bad. Like
I didn't when I first played it
Now-
because then I played Mass Effect 2
Well,
and I saw
mine-
what it could be.
Mind you, I played the 3 of them within like 2 months of each other
Me too.
because I got it
In
as
1
the
month.
collection on PS3. And see, like when I played Mass Effect 1, I was so fucking hooked. I played it in a weekend, from Friday evening to basically Monday morning.
That's cool.
I did like the full playthrough in
Yeah.
like it was like 50 hours or something like that.
Damn.
It
I
was,
just put, I think, a lot more.
yeah. And yeah, Brenda was with me the whole time through it, and I could not put it down. It was like I was just really enveloped in it. I loved it, and I found like
I
all
have
those,
an
like,
N7 sticker on my car, and that's reserved for like 3 stickers.
I have an N7 sticker like ready to go. but
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to get a better car.
I had to get a big one. I know, and I have a white car, so I actually named it the Normandy because I got it when I was
Nice.
playing Mass Effect.
yeah,
But that series, yeah, I'll go on.
and it's so like the characters, it's deep, and I loved it, and it's like the reason why I like the first one so much more is because the story is the best out of it.
Fuck yeah.
Because in the second one, the story is forced at the very beginning. They kill Shepard specifically just
Okay,
for
I like the story because I feel like it's all one cohesive story. So I like the first one so much because it's the introduction to
Well,
this massive story.
The first one is very cohesive though, because as far as the first one went, they had it to
no,
where
it could be a standalone, right?
yeah, it's like the
But
first
the way
one
it
has the
ended
whole
was
thing.
like the Reapers were introduced at the end of the first one, and they're the main enemy in the third one. But we still have to go through the second,
well,
and that's cool.
The extra Reapers were shown in two. The first one ends with
Well,
that
the
it was it
collectors.
was Sovereign,
Right.
and then you ended up defeating Sovereign. And
Well, he was
something,
possessing,
something that I love. Yeah, he was.
him,
Well,
but it wasn't actually him because at the end it shows them.
Sovereign is the Reaper, and then
Reaper,
it
but
was
the-
Reaper. Saren is the guy that
Saren was
you're
the
fighting.
surrogate, right?
Right. And,
He was
but
a hard
That's
fight.
what I'm saying. You meet Sovereign. Sovereign was the Citadel and everything. Like,
Yeah, but you're still in the Citadel in 2 and 3, and then boom.
well, yeah. The thing.
Anyway, I'm just saying the story is all one big story
but
introduced in
my
the first
point,
one. Okay,
one
go ahead.
thing I want to say about it that I thought was so crazy, and my girlfriend, she was like almost mad at me at first because I was like, this music doesn't fit. Is what I said about the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, the music doesn't fit with it, and
How so?
because it's all gloomy and mean and evil, and then but it's because at the end it's fucking Sovereign.
Right, that makes sense.
And that's my point is that
I
they sh-
liked. Okay, sorry, really quick. Citadel should have stayed the way it was in the first game. Because goddamn, in 2
Well,
and
you-
3 it sucks.
well, you fucking kill Sovereign at the end of 1. So
No, but I mean like the way you do the Citadel. Like in
Oh,
number
yeah.
2, it's like a hallway that you walk from area to area, and then 3, it's like sectioned off weird.
Oh yeah.
But in number 1, it was just all boom, here it is, in all open world. Like that was really cool.
I will say that BioWare should be lucky that I like Telltale games so much because it's the only reason I played through the first Mass Effect.
Wow.
Why is that?
Because I
Oh.
really like the story
You
and the
didn't like-
dialogue.
Okay, so Knights of the Republic got me into it.
So I that game I played through it because my nephew Tommy he was like, you need to play Mass Effect, you need to play Mass Effect. I finally did. I played the first one, and I was so average to me. I almost didn't play the second one. I'm like,
Oh
wow,
my
the story
God.
was really good, but the gameplay was just god awful. And-
Liara didn't make you want to keep going?
I love
No,
Liara.
Me too.
I've never been a fan of Liara.
Liara is my wallpaper on my computer
That's
and
dope.
on my Google.
You
I'll show
have-
you some pictures
so-
I've made.
It's her just lying on a bed.
I've made some Mass Effect t-shirts.
Nice.
I've always played as FemShep, and I was like, when Liara came up at the end and tried to romance me, I'm like, I guess.
I guess.
I never liked Liara. Like, Jack is my favorite character.
She
in Mass
wasn't
Effect
in-
by far.
Mass Effect 2 though.
I know.
It's in the first
She
one.
is in the DLC.
In the first one? Didn't
In-
have a DLC.
No, in the second one. Liara's in the first one. You
Oh
get-
right, no, she's in the Shadow Broker one. I know.
but yeah, she's in the League of
Yeah.
the Shadow Broker.
Right.
But Jack has always been my favorite character by far.
What's really funny
Miranda.
too about getting with Liara in the second one
Huh.
is it's like if you don't turn around and go back, you won't have the romance with her in the second one. Like you go up to her and everything happens, and then it's like that's the end. Go ahead and leave.
Right. But if you go back up to her,
You have to go back, and it's like you actually have to engage. Like after you have to like leave and then come back. and
maybe I
visit her.
forgot that I was playing loaded a previous save.
Yeah,
was like,
it's
oh,
crazy
wow.
because if you just leave, it's like there's no romance with Liara.
Yeah.
But that's the way you can actually keep the romance between all 3 games with her. Is that
That's cool.
it's like you go and visit her, you make it your effort. Like she accepts that you're busy and doing your
Right.
thing, but the fact that you come back and then she like even acknowledges that you're like she shouldn't be with you, and it's like no, I do, and
Yeah.
it totally pulls the story back, and it's like wow, that's fucking cool.
You know what's really cool, really quick, is that with Mass Effect, like from the very beginning, it kind of forces you with the two first characters, like Ashley Williams and stuff.
Oh yeah,
It like tries to say like, here's your girl, here you go. But they give you all these other girls, and you can romance them or boys. Like you can do anything in the game. So it's like it gives you one, so you're not alone, and you can
Yeah.
go for it. Or it's like, but I can go date her.
yeah,
Like, that's fucking
it's
cool.
interesting, yeah, and it's like in
Most games don't do that. I mean, Final Fantasy, you know, Tifa doesn't get stabbed. Nope.
yeah,
I would have been more sad if Tifa got stabbed, to be honest. Anyway.
yeah, we're both Tifa fans. Like,
Yeah, buddy.
Yuffie.
All right.
Yuffie's fantastic.
I have a Yuffie Play Arts figure. I love her.
she's great. Yeah, it's so like I could go on and on about Mass Effect. It was because I played, like I said, played the first one all in basically as much as you could in one sitting, like
Right.
Yeah, because it's days, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I mean, I played all three in a month the
And
first time I
then-
played it.
yeah, well, the only reason two took me longer is because school started and such.
I
and
gotcha.
then it took me a little while, and then immediately after beating 2, we did the same thing with 3. Just finished it.
Yeah.
like just played through 3 because it was winter break.
It was just a whole, like, that was just an ending. Like, number 3 just felt like most of the game was just like an ending in
It
any video
was.
game.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And a lot of people don't like it, but, you know, we can talk about that forever.
And the song that's playing right now, when it rolls at the end of 1, you're just like,
Damn.
nice.
Yeah.
This is
It
rad
was
as
so
shit.
satisfying at the end because that fight was tough.
Yep.
I don't mean
Okay.
to cut you off.
Sorry, we're going too long.
We only have 25 minutes
This
left.
is how much I love the fucking PS3.
What's your
dude.
number
Right.
2, dude?
This one is a fucking really hard for me to put down so low because it's Journey.
Oh, gee.
If there's
I-
never been a more perfect game,
It's fantastic. I didn't because keeping my honorable
Journey.
mention short. Yeah, Journey is fucking amazing. I loved it.
God, dude,
It's so
it's the best
relaxing.
hour of my life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, oh yeah, that's it.
journey.
No, play the music from the game because it's even better. Believe it or not. But yeah, stunning visuals. Like everything about that game is insane. Level design. The objective is right in front of you the entire time for the entire hour you're playing. The seamless co-op, drop in and out co-op, and you don't even communicate with this person other than a woo. Like,
Yeah.
it is the coolest fucking thing and the prettiest game I've ever seen in my life. I play through it at least once a year because it's kind of something you need to build up. I was thinking about it last time I played it, like, why aren't there more games like this? This is like
Yeah.
the greatest fucking thing ever. And then I was like, no, I'm really happy there's not. Like, I'm glad Journey is just,
Journey.
we can have just Journey.
I-
You can have the other ones similar, you know, style,
Yeah.
but Journey itself, having that, it's like, here's Journey in the logo, zooms out and says, all right. So it's like, what are you going to do? It doesn't need to tell you.
Yeah.
You have your no HUD. You don't need one. You can move around. Sweet. You press circle. It makes a circle. Like, it's fucking perfect.
And I think there was something so like, I guess just artistic and magical
Oh.
about when you get to the ice area, and it's,
It's-
like, and your cape scarf starts
It's
to
freezing.
it starts breaking.
Yeah, and that's your health. Basically,
Yeah.
is your health and how much you can glide. And as you get colder, you move slower.
Yeah,
you
and
start
you're just
shaking,
walking through,
and your
going to the
scarf,
light.
like, disappears. So it's basically your health is going out.
Mhm.
And then there's snowstorms that come randomly, and there's like tombstones, but you don't know the tombstones yet. You have to hide behind them,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. Like I said, you don't know the tombstones. Like you
Right.
start in this desert with these, you know, stones. Find out through looking at hieroglyphics that they're dead people on the same journey you're on.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Andrew.
That does make me a little upset that you said that because I've never played Journey. It's always been on my bucket list to play because I really like Flower and I really like Abzu, both games made by the same company.
I don't really see him. I guess it is spoilers. But it's something to experience, to be honest. That's what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at. It's
it's-
like no matter
No,
how much somebody tells you the entire thing.
That's what I've heard. Like there's people, there's a YouTuber, probably the first gaming YouTuber I ever watched named Pete Dorr. He played through Journey a lot, and he'd always say like he would play through and he'd see somebody with like really long capes because that means
Yeah.
they played through it more than once, and he'd be like, "Wow, I look up to that person." Then he would play through it, and then other people, he would be the person with long capes and leading people. It's
See, it doesn't really spoil it because it's like trying to describe a piece of artwork.
Right.
Like I could tell you what the Mona Lisa looks like, but
a
until
woman.
yeah, it's.
He's just talking about the tombstones.
I,
think.
well, I mean, even still, like,
Yeah,
the
it's-
impact is still there. It's not like it doesn't come across as spoiled if you knew about it. It's like it's once you see it, it still will hit you. Like you could be told, or you could see pictures of art.
I mean, the
but
first
once
thing
you
I
see
thought
it in
of,
person, it's
yeah, the
different.
first scene, like I said, has them. First thing I thought it was like, oh, those look like tombstones. Like it's pretty obvious.
Okay. All right, that's fair. All right, so Bernard, what's your number 2 on
I
the
wanna
games
keep
you
talking
should
about
play?
Journey.
Heavy Rain.
Hey.
You're in. Cool.
I own it, and I know I won. I own it. I bought it, and I thought I'm gonna play this. 'Cause it looks like a different, interesting game, and just haven't done it yet.
You get to cut off your own fingers and
God.
figure out how to cut them
I
off.
had like one of the worst endings apparently. Like I was playing with my friend, or I was playing, and my friend's like, "Oh, what ending did you get?" And I told him, and he goes, "Dude."
That sucks.
Like I told him every specific that happened. He goes, "Man, that's horrible." Like,
I like how it was like one of the worst because like most of them are bad.
yeah, they're all pretty bad.
yeah, but like I told him everything, and he goes, "Wow, no."
I mean, not saying like they're bad endings, but they're like,
Oh, yeah, like
the
bad.
decisions
Not
you have to
happy.
make. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough.
I mean,
Number 2.
Last
I
of
don't
Us.
know. Little Big Planet.
All right, that's a good one. Yeah,
It was
Super
fun.
fun.
It's
it is
okay.
It
fun.
was super fun.
Dude, I think the Vita version is like so perfect
I didn't
because it
play
can
it.
go everywhere. It's Little Big Planet 3 essentially.
But it's pretty much like Super Mario Maker before Mario Maker.
yeah,
It's
pretty
pretty
much, and that's
cool.
what makes it so awesome. Little
Yeah.
Big Planet's so much
Yeah,
fun.
It was pretty fun. Like you go through the game and then like you want to play Little Big Planet? Yeah, because we can just go download someone's map
would-
of like a whale
That's true.
traveling at 300 miles an
That's
hour.
what
and everyone
I-
has to hold on.
Yeah.
I recommend that game when someone's like, "Oh, do you have Mario for the PlayStation 4?" Yeah, it's called Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet. The funny thing about the Vita version is it basically acted as the App Store because you could make whatever, and they like had you could. What are you stroking my calf for?
Wow,
You could make
here's my mouse.
You could make like basically a shooter in the
Yeah.
Vita version.
Exactly.
And, yeah, it's like it's crazy. Like all the mini games that you can make. It's fun. I love it.
Dumb fun.
Little Big Planet's one of those games that I always wanted to like more than I did. Like I played it and it just didn't feel good to me.
That's-
As someone who plays like a lot of platformers,
Oh yeah, it's not fast if that's what you mean. Like
It
No,
it's-
wasn't
it's
as
not-
memorable as you'd think it would be, though.
it's
to
not
be honest.
fast, and there's just something about it. Like maybe it's
not
not enough.
fluid.
There's not enough weight.
Yeah, it's not.
So
it's
you
not-
are a
It-
bag of cloth.
It can be fluid.
I realize
Just
like
kidding.
I feel like my favorite.
Yeah, nah, not when you play. No, like I'm gonna totally veto that because like when you play stuff like Mario and like Rayman, it's totally nowhere near. Like yeah, there's like you can move forward, but it just doesn't feel as connecting as platformers, and I think that's what Andrew's getting at.
Yeah,
here.
it's like Rayman Origins is probably it would have been on my list for 360.
an
Like
excellent
that
platformer.
is platformers almost to perfection.
I
And Little
prefer
Big,
the original Rayman. Just
Little Big Planet just didn't do it for me. I remember going over to a friend's house and I was like, "Oh, do you want to play?" Yeah, sure, I play it. And I was playing it, but I enjoyed it, but I never had a knack to play it, even with all of the
knack? You didn't have a knack?
No, yeah.
Good.
Well,
It's a
I was
bad game.
like little Sackboy's best video game appearance isn't even his own game.
I'm on PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah.
No, fucking the Order 1886.
No.
He is.
Wait, what do you mean?
Sackboy's in it.
That's not the first time he appeared.
No, I'm
No,
saying
no,
that's his best
Oh.
appearance in a game.
Oh, his best appearance? I don't know. I think.
did you guys know he was in that?
No.
I don't remember that.
I didn't
You're
play it.
walking, you're running through this building, right? And you go and you can open this drawer. And you open it and he picks up Sackboy and he just looks at it and he goes, "Huh." And he puts it back down.
That's funny.
That's
I like all the Jack references in Ratchet and Clank 3,
Yeah.
I think it is. It's like giant billboards in a city.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway.
All right.
Or
So-
they're watching, I think, or
I
playing
will-
Dragon. Anyway.
So I'll say my number 2. It was said earlier, Metal Gear Solid 4.
It's fucking fantastic.
I need to
I didn't
play
say
it.
much earlier just because,
Add in your peppering of like a moment that you had with it.
oh man, a moment that I had with it. So Metal Gear Solid 4 came at a time when my PS3 was not at my house. I left it over at my friend Ryan's house and I just let them basically have it for a couple months.
Ouch.
And because I was playing a lot on my 360 and a lot on my laptop at the time. So I was like, you know what? Here you go. Like they didn't have a PS3, so I just let them play it. But I went over there and I bought it for 99 cents,
Yeah.
the game. And I started playing it. And at the beginning, that speech, he says, war has changed.
Does he say that?
So
Some-
war is changing. Yeah.
Changing.
So he just totally like did that for Fallout?
It was funny because Fallout came out. I think the same
Yeah,
year.
Fallout 3 was coming out in like
It-
2008.
Yeah, it was like
came
the
out.
same year
Yeah,
that
it-
they both came out. So it was like war
That's
is changing,
so
war never
funny.
changes. It was
I
funny.
didn't. I know they do a lot of like references to other things.
They didn't
so-
do it in reference to each other, but they both came out like at the same time.
Well, Fallout's always said that though since
Oh,
like
yeah.
1998, since it came
oh,
out.
okay.
I
yeah.
will say the two moments that really stuck out to me, other than obviously like the fight on top, because that's perfect. I really liked the joke near the end. I was playing and everyone was watching because it's one of those games that are really good at watching. And Otacon pops up, boom. Hey, it's time for you to switch your disc.
Put the second disc in, Snake. What?
That's
What?
funny.
We're on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, dual layer too. It's got 50 gigs.
What the fuck?
We don't need to do that.
Yeah, because in the first game,
That's so funny.
in the first game after you fight
Right.
Sniper Wolf and you're going down the stairs, it tells you put disc 2 in.
Right. Yeah.
It's at that same moment you're on Shadow Moses Island. You're walking
Oh
down
my
that set of
god.
stairs.
I love
Oh,
Shadow. Hey, my
Yeah,
phone
exactly.
always says this.
So that by far, like, that is just really funny. But the ending to the
it's
game,
so clean.
it's, man, the PS3 actually probably hit me in the feels more than any other system, just by chance of what games I played on it.
Right.
I mean, there's
But
a lot of good ones.
I loved Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. I beat Metal Gear Solid 3 in one sitting. I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 multiple times to where I could do perfect runs of it.
Damn.
And Metal Gear Solid 4, I would go over to his house just to play it. I didn't even have my system anymore at that point. And I'm just like,
You're
what?
being used, friend.
The best 99 cents I've ever spent.
It's a really funny moment because there's like you can always press the right trigger and then you start seeing through Snake's eyes in the game. So it's like whenever you're in a cutscene, it's like okay, first person perspective.
Oh.
And then when you see Naomi, you're like looking at her and everything. He's like looking at her, like they're talking to each other. And then you go to first person, he's looking right at her tits.
That's the best thing
and
ever.
but me and
God, I
Nate,
need to
me and
play
Nate
this
were
game.
both so surprised about it because there's a part when he's talking to Naomi and he like pulls out his cigarettes and he like drops it and he's like, and he like gets down. But it doesn't let you go into first person, but
Oh,
he's straight
no.
up looking
Yeah,
up her skirt.
understood.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
That's fucked
Man,
up.
you know
but
what?
they don't
And
let
the fucking Raiden, he's coming back as a
Yeah.
machine ninja for the first time in this game, and that battle he has with Vamp, like,
It's
right?
fucking dope.
Oh my god, that game has so many cutscenes. The bosses are fantastic.
So Rising's a prequel to that one?
Yep.
Cool. So I'll get it after I'm. Yeah, I have
yeah,
finished
it-
Rising.
just that
never mind.
that game is perfection almost.
I'll get it.
My number one, well, I'll let you know, but
Yeah.
that game, if you have a PS3 and you haven't played it, you have no excuse because it's literally 99 cents at GameStop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can sell it to you, but I'll buy it first.
So my number 2, we talked a shit ton about it last week. We really don't have to talk about it to save time. It's Bayonetta.
Hell, yep.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
say about those platinum games, man.
we went over it like a lot last week, so we can
Oh,
go
it's
ahead
really
and
good.
move on. It's
I will-
it's fucking great.
I'm buying a Switch for it.
I will say that
$300
was-
for Bayonetta.
Yeah, it was an honorable mention on my 360 list. You know, that El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron.
Yeah.
Both fantastic
I don't know
games,
what
but
that is.
Bayonetta's really good.
It's
Fucking
I love
awesome.
it. I'm gonna definitely be picking up the whole trilogy on
I'm
Switch.
so
like,
excited for number 3. You have no idea.
Bayonetta was, I think, one of the original reasons why I asked my mother for GameFly.
Oh, so you just didn't have to buy it.
Yeah,
It's the reason I played a Wii U.
I
Because Bayonetta 2.
I got it and Darksiders 2.
Huh.
Like there was a thing, and I played Bayonetta, and I was like, "That's fucking amazing." And then I played Darksiders 2, and I just was like, "I'm not gonna play this."
Yeah, it's actually not too
It's
bad.
probably not bad, but
It's
after
pretty good.
after playing Bayonetta 2,
Yeah, no, it's not.
After Bayonetta,
That-
that just felt like shit.
that's
to
what
me.
happened to me, man. Not Bayonetta,
But yeah,
but
well, you were
there,
talking
I
about
played
Last
a
of Us.
game that's after, like, I played Batman Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
right? And the way that fighting is
It's
and
good.
how fast Bayonetta is. I remember I played those two very close to each other. I'm like, wow, these are the two ways you do combat. And then I went back and played the original God of War. And I was just like,
no.
I was
See,
like,
that's why I don't like
You know
God of War,
what's
because I
funny?
played it on PS2, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this game. Then I started playing platinum games. I'm like, fuck,
I don't
dude.
actually like the Arkham style either. Like it's
Really?
too, it's too
Good.
simple.
I mean, you press triangle, yeah, and you dodge everything.
yeah,
so
like
whatever.
I just feel it's I guess not engaging enough.
I get you.
That's what I, like a lot of games are using that style now.
Yeah, the gameplay looks
So-
like shit to me.
oh, it's so good.
But
Same with
yeah.
Shadow
Let's
of War and all that shit.
Go ahead and move on to your number 1.
Shadow
What's
of War
your-
is not very good, by the way.
Or sorry, Shadow of Mordor.
Mordor, that's the
That's-
one I played. I
War
never
is the
played
second
War.
one.
Yeah, War.
My first one, I cheated on this one because it goes together, but it's Demon Souls and Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
But I could lean more towards Demon Souls since it's exclusive
It's
PS3,
exclusive.
and I technically played Dark Souls first or tried it first on the PC. So, but I was talking about Demon Souls because holy fuck, we talk about Dark Souls a lot, but
yeah.
Demon Souls, was the first in the Souls franchise series. People considered it like the hardest fucking game. Like it's impossible because you can't beat the first boss. But guess what? You don't actually. Whatever. So it's not that hard. But maybe that's because I played Bloodborne first, then Dark Souls 3, and
You ever
then Dark
beaten
Souls
him?
1. And which one?
You can.
Oh
beat-
yeah, the Vanguard, of course.
Yeah, you can beat him.
Yeah.
And it kills.
No, like I said, like I didn't find Demon Souls difficult whatsoever because I don't
Yeah.
find Bloodborne hard, and that was the first one I played. So after Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, and
Going
then
back
Demon
to
Souls, yeah, I was like, this is nothing. Like it was so much fun though. Like seeing the level design where Dark Souls came from, like level design wise, the boss fights were extremely unique, and they still didn't really touch too much on boss fights and gimmicks the way they did in Demon Souls. You know, they went back to the branching path with the hub world from like Bloodborne, but that's the part I don't really care for. But I do like that you can go to any of them at the very beginning.
I really like that.
So I didn't find out till later, after like 3 playthroughs of it, that the part I was saving till like maybe the middle of my game because I knew it very well. Also, I knew it was tough. That's one of the first places you're supposed to go, but I found it difficult, so I saved it till like later on in the game. But just having enemies that are blocking doors, where you're like, oh, that's a cool door, and oh, this is a random guy, fuck him, and he kills you in one hit. You're like, I see, and
That
there's like no
game,
indication.
Demon Souls. I don't have a lot of like firsthand experience with it. Ryan beat it in 2 days. I remember he was just literally he's almost stayed up for 48 hours.
It's so good.
Right, but I remember I never played it, so I didn't understand the concept of losing souls.
Okay.
And
Oh,
right,
yeah.
so he had a bunch saved up, and he went to the
Oh,
restroom.
nice.
You
He went to
dick.
the restroom, and I didn't know. I was just like, "Oh, let me go play this."
Yeah.
And he was in this place where it's really dark, and there's like poison fogs everywhere.
Yes.
and you just
I know exactly.
You know exactly, right?
That's the what you call it? You call it a prison, but
Yeah.
the asylum. I hate that place
Well,
because
Yeah, Asylum. That's
In any
it.
case, he lost all of his souls
Good.
because I didn't know.
It's really easy to die there because you can just fall.
Everything in that place is so confusing and you fall.
Yeah.
But that's good level design because the fact that I can play through it 10 million times and still get lost
It's a
means it's
fantastic game. It's
great.
fun.
There was something really cool too at the end that caught me by surprise, and I set my controller down and was pissed off and extremely impressed that the final boss of the game, he does a soul steal. So he grabs you and kills you in one hit. Doesn't just kill you in one hit, it knocks you down 5 levels. He steals 5 levels from you. It's fucking nuts. And that's every time you fight him. And he's a hard fight because he's the last boss,
Yeah.
really. And he's like a humanoid. And if anybody's played a Dark Souls game, you know humanoids are the hardest things to fight in a Souls game. So that was like, blew my mind. I walked around like 5 fucking levels. I'm like level like almost 200. This is insane. Anyway, I can talk
Nice.
all day about it.
I'm sure.
Bernard, number 1.
Bernard, what's the game you need to play the most?
It is called 3D Dot Game Heroes.
I've heard it's
Oh,
excellent.
I've heard of that.
It is cool. Yeah, I've played
I
it.
own it. I know. I remember buying it when I first got a PS3, and I just never put it in and played it.
It's voxel based. It's super fun. Yep.
Last of Us.
Yeah. You know it.
We talked about it enough.
Last of Us.
All right, so my number 1 is a game that I played, and it immediately became my favorite beat 'em up over Bayonetta, God of War, Batman, any game like that. And it's a really polarizing game.
What is it?
DMC
Oh, okay.
is
Okay.
my number 1.
Okay.
That game
Fair.
is
I'll give you that.
fan-fucking-tastic.
I like
I thought it was
Dante.
super fun.
But people don't like it because
No.
Dante's not Dante.
You mean the
Not
black hair one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the only thing they didn't like about it. Like the game is still
Yeah,
phenomenal.
but people just don't give it a chance
Yeah.
simply
really
because
dumb.
it's let and
Draw on
anyone
your
who's-
screen. Just draw a little anime hair. on
anyone
your
and because
TV.
not only that, but like let's say you were on the fence about it, right? But you were like super into Devil May Cry. You're like, all right, I'll give it a chance. Within the first 10 minutes, he completely just takes a crap on
On
the
old
original
Dante.
Dante. Like a wig
do?
flies on his
Oh
head,
my
and he's
God,
just
that's
like,
funny.
Wasn't it a mop top?
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a
Oh,
mop,
that's
and it flies
funny.
on his head, and he goes, ugh, that looks terrible,
It's
or
really-
something like
Okay.
that.
It's funny too because he looks in the mirror and he goes, huh? Like he's giving it
Like-
like he's like looking at it, like giving it a chance and he
Considering it.
goes, ugh.
Right?
See, that's funny because that reminds me of oh shoot, it's in my mind. But I don't know.
This-
I lost it.
This game is
It's
so
fucking good.
good. Like the PS4 version on top of that, I played it originally in PS3 and I haven't played it yet on PS4, and I'm so excited because they upped it to 60 FPS. They upped all the graphics, and it's a game that just perfected the beat 'em up style. I personally think it's better than Bayonetta. Whether,
I'm still in favor of Bayonetta. I played it both.
You
I was
know.
gonna say about Metal Gear. Like, I wonder if how fans felt because I was too young when it happened. But Metal Gear Solid 2, it was all
Yeah,
advertised
people
with.
people hated it.
But people
yeah.
ended up liking Raiden, who looks
Yeah,
like
right.
Dante before his
When
hair.
Metal Gear Solid 2, I remember people saying that they didn't like it, but it was the same thing. DMC is a game that once you play it, like if you're not a Devil May Cry fan, you will like DMC if you like that style of
I
game.
love the anime, and I played
Um,
very little of the games.
Yeah, but it's literally just a game that everyone needs to play.
Yep.
Like I don't think
for it.
Miguel likes
A guy
beat
who's
'em ups
half,
that much.
half
but
demon.
Really
it's-
at
Good
all.
stuff.
Half demon.
yeah, I
half
don't
He's
think
half demon.
very.
You like
no.
Dark Souls? That's just a slower paced
No, it's
beat 'em
not.
up. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It feels
It
the
is,
same as a
technically.
like if you play Nier Automata, it's just a faster version, depending on what weapon you use, version of Dark Souls.
The games we were talking about are nothing like God of War. Don't let that taint your mind.
No, that's like it's
I
not
said-
like
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
God of War's
Dante's
garbage.
Inferno.
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno is exactly like God of War,
Yeah, it is.
except I like it better.
All right. My number one.
I already know.
Do you?
Yeah,
What is it?
100%.
Really?
I will bet.
Well, let's say
I
let's
have it
have
written
Andrew
down,
say
so
it.
let's hear- Say it.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, it is.
Wow,
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. Holy
Why
fuck.
didn't you think he would know?
I didn't know for sure if he would
because
know.
he already said all the good ones.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, Red Dead. I wasn't sure because there are a whole ton of
No,
other
I
games in
I
here.
just know you.
Red Dead Redemption is fucking amazing. So there's not really other games like it.
Here's the thing: there's not an Animal Crossing on PS3.
Yeah.
So what else was it
Yeah,
gonna be?
yeah.
What else?
There's
what-
no Harvest Moon.
I-
Stardew Valley wasn't on the piece. It was.
Dude, I fucking spent. I spent so many hours just fucking playing poker. But yeah, like it's a living, breathing world. Like it's so cool. Like there's like even if you don't have your horse, you're like, my horse is dead. In the desert, and you just like you could find yourself a horse.
horse is dead.
Yeah, fucking.
I'm
And
excited for.
I
the second one
remember
so
the
bad.
funniest scene that fucking happened is when you get into Mexico, it's really cool because you could go on and do whatever the fuck else you want, but then it starts playing this music that's like, no, keep going into Mexico
Right,
because if you start
builds
leaving, the music starts turning off.
So funny.
So then it's like, no, keep going, and the music comes back up, and you're like looking at the landscape and the sun's rising. You're just like, this is something else.
if
Like,
you walk the other way, the sun go back down.
yeah,
So it's just like-
no, that would be really funny. But
Don't
that's a
turn
funny
your back
story.
on me.
It reminds me of that SpongeBob episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Fucking,
that's so funny.
I still remember this funny moment though, is when I was in Mexico in game. Fucking, so I'm on my horse and I'm fucking hauling ass to the next town over, and some guy's riding a donkey. All right,
He's
And
hauling
sup-
ass.
No, and he's super happy.
Get
He goes,
it?
"Hola, señor," like super happy, but like. I got really close to him, and John Marston fucking kicked him off the horse. He's like, "Hola, señor," and then the fucking donkey reared up. And was like, "Fucking you!" And then I had the camera, like I was still running, but I turned the camera, and the donkey was running, and the guy was like, "Hey!" And he's fucking. I won't forget that moment because it was so
It's
like the
so
world, like
funny.
it was like, dude, that all just like that wasn't a scripted moment. It
Yeah.
was, the game just fucking did it. And
I'm gonna play that and Metal Gear
Yeah.
4.
and like oh my god, and there's not cowboy games like I'm
No,
super
absolutely.
super ready for Red Dead Redemption.
There was only
2.
like Gun and then Red Dead Revolver, which was.
I
prequel.
really
Yeah.
liked Gun.
Yeah, it was
I have
good. It
not
was on
played
PS2.
Red Dead Redemption.
It's just Red Dead Redemption. It's open.
GTA in the
There are
West.
cowboy games. There aren't good,
Good
cowboy
cowboy
But where
games.
are they?
Hey,
like I haven't even seen them.
Gun is really,
Fucking-
Gun is good.
Yeah,
for the
so,
time.
So
I mean-
there's that, and there's the Red Deads.
But
Oh,
since
there's- you know what
there's also
3D,
like
but
know
since 3D gaming, like PS2.
I know.
Anyway.
I know we don't have much time left, but a game you need to play is Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Specifically
yeah,
that
Call of
one.
Juarez.
The rest of the Call of Juarez games are meh, but
I was
that
gonna say,
one,
the Call of Juarez series is bad.
that one specifically is
Guns.
really good. It speeds it up a little bit. It's arcadey, and it's all being told by somebody. So they'll be like, "Wait, that's not how that happened." And he'll goes, "All right," and it starts backing up. Anyway, I'll show you later.
I fucking love Red Dead Redemption 2. It's oh my god.
You said 2.
no,
I've been-
I'm saying I've
okay.
played Red Dead. I
Yeah.
love it so much.
I say
And
that so much at work.
I want to. I can't wait for 2. Is what I was gonna say. And I've played Red Dead Redemption probably 4 times, like all the way through the whole story, like 100%ing it.
We've been dead the whole time.
It's so good.
Sounds good, man.
All right, tell us what's happening next week.
All right, so next week will be interviewing the voice actors behind Lulu. We might have another really big guest. I'm not going to say his name yet, but when things are in the works, we also may or may not be counting down according to the timeline our top 5 Nintendo Wii games. I don't know if we all have 5 Nintendo Wii games.
I have
do.
one.
I did not have a Wii.
I have 5 Wii games.
I can think of 5, but I have one.
I love
That's
the Wii.
like the best.
So we will
It's not
we
very
will
good, though.
see what is on tap for next week. But in any case, from everyone here at the Kinda Gaming Show,
Don't
we
speak
want
for me.
for everyone here except Miguel, we want to say thank you for listening,
Yeah, we love
and we
you.
will see you next week.
Jason!
Got,
Thank you for listening, and
we
we'll
got a
see you
little
next
bit
week.
more before we totally fade out. I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Jason! Thank
No.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Goodbye.
Play out, yeah.
I love the PlayStation 3.